Sorry about that, guys. I thought that I had the long intro in. I think I might have just put the primo, the smaller version of that little song popping off. So anyway, I was in here introducing. We had an emergency with Ham Solo, so we hope. He said he'll come back, but if he doesn't, that family first. Got to take care of those situations because he was just in here in the room with us, and then he said to bounce out. And then we also have somebody else that said that they would be a little bit late, so we'll go ahead and get this started, get this rolling. Don't want to be too late because we got lots to discuss tonight, and I got to get my rant on because I didn't get my rant on. I didn't get my rant on the next podcast, so I will definitely do it tonight.
Because it was cut short.
Yeah, it was cut short. That was pretty crazy. Bot was like, well, because we was had a good flow, and then next thing you know, Bot just cut it off. But he was having some issues, so it is what it is. But anyway, without further ado, man, we have somebody new dropping onto the GRG podcast, man. This first time, and just met him. I should say, well, it's not really personally because we're not seeing each other, but interacting for the very first time. Is somebody that we've crossed paths. He's seen. He was just explaining to me that he's seen one of my Fight Night videos or clips where Gargos was putting hands on me. pretty bad because I beat him earlier. And then the dude sit there and got full revenge. One of the longest ultras that I've ever had to be dealt with. So anyway, other than that, man, welcome. Shadow Blaze, what's happening with you, man? What's going on? Tell people a little bit about yourself.
What's going on, everybody? Hello, thank you so much for having me. Just chilling amongst the horizon, just here to enjoy these games, play these games, interact with people, meeting new people, and a little bit about me. I mainly play on Xbox, but I also have a Switch and a PlayStation 5, and I just play what I like.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt.
Pretty simple.
Do you have a channel? Do you do you stream? Is there anything that you do like content creator wise, or is just that you just come in and you just new to the scene like that?
So as far as content creation, I do have a Twitch channel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just taking it baby steps, so I do stream on occasion. So I mainly do that sometimes. And that's basically about it. Just Twitch.
No big deal. No big deal. This is what we do here at GRG, man. We try to introduce people to all different types of content creators out here. We've been doing it ever since the beginning. Even before when I first started. I was known a little bit from being on BGST. But there was other people, there was members that weren't as known, and look and see where they at and what they're doing now. Just a branch of they're doing their own podcast, or they're affiliated with other podcasts out there. So I'm saying it's just no different. Like, we just want people to get to know other people in the community and then get their thoughts, because here, I'm saying this is whatever your stance is on things is whatever your stance is. If it didn't matter if you play PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, PC, hell, mobile. It doesn't really matter. All we here is just want to just talk about games, have a good time doing it. So I really do appreciate you hopping on. Like I said, there'll be another person that will be coming on here a little bit later, and then hopefully Ham Solo, if he gets his situation taken care of regarding with his family, then hopefully that he'll be on here too. So let's go out here and go to the elder statesman. You know what I'm saying? This man over here just told me that he got him a Series S. It took him 20 years to get him a Series X, but now he's gonna get it all here in an abundance of like a couple of weeks. So how's it feel?
That's why I work, brother. That's why I've been working so hard to get the toys, man. Toys.
I got you. So how you doing, brother? What's going on, man?
I'm good, man. Just a little tired. Got it going for 6 a.m, so I'm gonna leave pretty much exactly at 10 o'clock tonight. But got a lot of good stuff to talk about. I enjoyed myself. I wish my buddy Yobi could get in here and hang out with us, man.
Yobi could come in here and
I know,
and chat
but he
with us
still
got
some things to work out. But I wish he could. Sleepy would be perfect. I've heard Sleepy speak. He got a great voice, dude.
Does he?
Yeah, Sleepy got a great voice, man.
Oh man,
I wish
so
Sleepy could come up in here.
okay, so
But other than that,
you
nice
just
to
inviting
meet you,
everybody,
Shadow.
but that's cool. That's cool. They have no problem with that. Yeah, Sleepy, if you ever want to come on GRG, man, you've been a supporter for GRG forever. So man, like
Everything
anytime.
forever. You always
Everything.
welcome, bro.
Always welcome. Just like Yobi is. He's always welcome, man. He's family. Yobi's like family to me. Like a little nephew. You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah, I love Yobi,
that
but I
that
can't
I
I
Yeah,
can't live
Yobi's
without
pretty
a
cool.
I can't live without a Yobi rant in the podcast about me, man. I just can't do it.
well,
I gotta have him
it's
do
just
it.
it's just what it is, man. It's just what it is. I don't know, but
Me and Yobi friends though. That's the funny part.
no, I don't think y'all friends anymore. I think because you've been
We-
missing fight night, y'all ain't cool no more.
Oh man, get off of it, man. I've been doing so much, man. I've been working hard. Why you think I was able to get this beautiful PC, the big giant TV, the X, and now I got the S. I've been working on this stuff, man. I want to be ready for when the big games come out, man. I want to be ready to play anywhere in the room, in any room, or even on my PC when I feel like it. So it's been hard work, man.
No doubts. And of course,
No
you always
diggity.
like you have to work so you can have those,
exotic butters.
you know what I'm saying, so you can rub on yourself.
If she wants to put butter on me, she can put butter on me.
You do it to yourself. So you know what I'm saying? Giggity. So that's what you got going on. Anyway, all right, man. So let's go ahead and get started, man. And then like whoever will come in here a little bit later, then we'll finish it off and ask them about this. But man, let's go ahead and do this recap for what we've seen game wise. Oh, well, let me hit this super chats right fast. Yobi, appreciate it, guys. As I always steal this from Xbox 448 because I do like that. There's not too many things I take from Xbot, but I do take this. The super chat works, people. The super chat works. So definitely appreciate it. Dragonheart Yobi says, peace, love, life. Shadow, my guy, is in the building. He said, what's up? He said, up yours, Sir X-Man. Like I said, there's no love. And then,
We got love.
Appreciate it.
Me and Yobi, when nobody else is around, we have decent conversations in a party chat, dude.
Oh yeah. I don't know if that's true or not. So
That's because you're not there.
Oh man, I need to hop into parties more often, man. I like I said, people can hit
Dude,
me
you
up
be in
anytime
them
they want
single
to.
player games, man, and you just get locked and focused, and you just don't want to be bothered. We all know.
Man, it's either here lately. It's been betas or some else. But I did play Turtles.
How'd you like that?
I liked it. I really enjoyed it. I'm at the end. I'm like level 15. I got beat by that last boss, and then I think there's one more level after that. I think level 16 is the last level, and so I got right down there, and I was almost had him down.
Ooh, there it is. Stabby, stabby, stabby.
Oh my goodness! And then it was kind of crazy because I was like, damn, but I was playing by myself. So this weekend I'll be jumping on here mostly with Don and whoever else is going to hop in, and we'll go at it, have a good time. But I do really enjoy it. What do you think about the Turtles game yourself, Shadow?
I think it's a very, very, very eccentric for my taste. I'm really not into side scrollers unless it's like Mario or Sonic or Castle Crashers or Scott Pilgrim versus the World. But TMNT took the combat and the mechanics and the graphics to the next level for me, especially for an arcade game. So I find it very textbook for my taste.
All right. Sir X-Man, have you got a chance to play it yet? Nope.
No, not yet. I've been
was
too
talking
busy
about
playing that Battlestar Galactica game, dude.
Yeah,
I'm hooked on that, man. You know me.
I know you. So
Love you too, Yobi.
But let me go ahead and read this other super chat from Yobi. He says, little nephew, I'm little brother. You demoted me like that? Jeez. No, I didn't demote you. I didn't demote you. I'm saying, okay, man, little bro. It's all good, little bro. Little bro. All right. And then he said, that's a lie. We never had a decent conversation since the last Fight Night Sunday, and that was eons ago.
We've
Don't
talked
lie,
on there before Fight Night. It was a few years back.
The truth is coming
Me
out.
and him can have decent conversation.
Yeah, no, I cannot wait for High on Life. But let's go ahead and get started, man. The recap.
There she is. She got married.
Oh my God, stop it. The recap, man, stop it. I'm gonna fast forward this if you keep on.
Because even you love Sarah Barr. That's the sad part
I
about
do.
it.
And I got to meet her in person. We got to talk in person. So
it was even better in person, wasn't it?
Stop it. I'm not doing all that. Like, you know what I'm saying? She's a professional. And so am I. Anyway,
Oh my God.
Somewhat a professional I am.
Uh
Okay,
huh.
so the recap for this week. Okay, so let's go to our guest. Shadowblades, what were some of the games that caught your attention? And it doesn't matter if it's if you watched everything, what were some of the standout games that were like, oh man, I got to play them? And it take your time because I mean we're light right now. So um
Right.
it doesn't matter the cap. We seen the Square Enix, we seen the Capcom. There was a Devolver. There was I don't even know if people will even notice that there was an indie showcase as well Saturday. And there was the PC, and there was tons of stuff that was on Saturday. I watched all of it. So if whatever games that you've seen from any of these showcases that caught your eye and that you anticipating, let us know what you think.
Well, there were 4 games that actually stood out to me all week following the Summer Games Fest. For one, the Callisto Protocol. I never seen a good space-like zombie game to the point to where that zombie literally bite a whole skeleton's head off the neck of it, and you could actually hear the slimy crunch and the detail of the bones just cracking as the zombie's just chewing away through the person's head. So I'm very, very excited about that, most definitely. um for the Xbox showcase, for me, of course, Redfall. I am a huge fan of looters. I'm pretty sure some people that I've interacted with know that by now. So Redfall most definitely is going to be one of my top picks to be on my radar. Naraka Blade Point was something that I never heard of before, and I saw that it was a PC battle royale game, and the combat looks very, very balanced. And since it's stemming from PC and now it's coming to Xbox, the controls actually feel nice. And not a lot of people know this too, but Naraka Blade Point, if you are part of the Xbox Insiders program, you can actually download the demo for free if you click the Xbox Insiders Hub app and just go ahead and scroll over to the previews. You could just download and play that for free. And I actually been playing it for a couple days now, and I really enjoy it. I didn't think that I would enjoy a melee range focused kind of battle royale game, but it's textbook in my opinion. And then last but not least, my fan favorite, Overwatch 2. I knew Overwatch 2 was coming, but we never necessarily had a release date. They have had a PC beta a couple months ago, but I was still waiting for some type of news for a console beta. And then not only we have a console beta news, but we also have a release date and it's free to play. So I think that was very, very awesome. I was never expecting Overwatch 2 to be at that show. I was kind of expecting Overwatch 2 to probably be at the next BlizzCon, but for them to be at the Xbox showcase, I was blown away. I was blown away. I was very excited. So those were some of my highlights for the week, and can't wait to play the beta next week too.
Yeah, no doubt. Like now, Nakara, that's the one for me. I've been like I didn't play Turtles until yesterday, until last night, because that's what I've been playing the whole time is Nakara. And I played the beta on PC, but it was rough back then, and it wasn't very controller friendly. So I thought, I was like, man, there's a lot of potential there, but I just couldn't get into it. And on top of that, graphically, it really wasn't that outstanding either. So to my surprise, playing it, I was like, man, let me go ahead and try, because I'm just like you. I'm not a big fan of battle royale like that either. Well, lo and behold, making it into a fighter, I guess I am I guess I do like it. So it's nuts. So I just look at that situation, and now I have been playing it, knowing that we can't save our progression, but I'm already like a level 19, 20 right now. So I've been going ham in that game. I really, really enjoy it, and I'm going to buy that game. I'm not even going to I love Game Pass and everything, but I'm just gonna cop that. I'm gonna cop that deluxe, that ultimate or that deluxe edition, and just roll with it because that's gonna be a game that I'm gonna be jamming with for a while. So I totally
So
agree.
so I have a question on that. So none of our
Mhm.
progression in our cosmetics rolls over because they are accepting purchases for microtransactions
Yeah,
currently.
right. Yeah, if you
So
buy them, that's different. But if you just playing and not and not using like real life currency, then no, then because like the develop because I don't know if you've been paying attention, but I've been showing gameplay and some people were like, well,
mhm,
you should be showing gameplay because it's under the but I'm like normally under the circumstances. Yes, you are not supposed to show content or really talk about those games, but the game came out last year on PC. So if
mhm.
if I showed PC gameplay, then that's not going to say that's the only reason. And the developer also came in when I showed the gameplay and just said, hey, look, if you got any issues, let me know. You know what I'm saying? I would be really happy that you're showing the game off. So I was like, okay, I'm going to show more clips. So that's the only reason. Like with other games that I've been playing, like there's a game that's going to be coming out here at the end of the month that I've been playing. I even beat that game. I can't say what the game was and how it was or anything like that. But that's just what it is. Like that's the nature of the beast. Like if a game's already out, then I think that it's okay for somewhat promotion. And now if you're dogging it out or something like that, I think that might be a little bit different. But from what he told me, and that was in the chat, is that the progression everybody got to start from scratch. So that
Okay.
only to be fair. But if you paid for items already, then I think that you keep those cosmetic items though. So.
Yeah, because there was those treasures was giving to us just by logging in and testing out the demo and everything.
Yeah.
Plus, we also got gold bars, silks, and is this currency called TAE?
Mhm.
So I should expect for those for those items to be transferred into the real game.
Yes.
Also, I've received a mythic skin too for a character, so I just hope that at least all of our cosmetics and in-game currency should be able to transfer over to the final
Well,
product of the game.
if you haven't paid for it with real money, no, none of that stuff is coming over. It's starting
Oh,
from
okay,
scratch.
okay,
But if you pay for real money, then if you pay for items with real money, then yes, you'll keep those items. But that's the gist of it from what I got of it. So
okay.
let me read this from Sir X Man. Sir X Man, you should be saying this.
I just wanted to give you a little bit of money.
Oh damn! Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, all right. Well, hit that like button and share, everyone. Let everybody know that we alive. Appreciate it. I'm sorry. Damn, you may seem like I just dead ass broke, but you know what? I ain't gonna turn down nothing. So
No,
I
I know
appreciate
you
it.
ain't, bro. I just wanted to do it so everybody sees it. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
got
they
you.
know to hit that shit, bro.
I got you. I got you. I got you. Appreciate it. I live shit. I could do something with that too. Well, no, not the way shit is high now. You can't do too much with
You, you can
$2, but I
you
but
can
I
buy
but I
you half a
appreciate it.
cupcake. You can buy a half a cupcake with that out
I
there.
know. You know what? For the cupcakes that I like that I can no longer eat because I'm on this diet now. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, no. Those cupcakes cost like $6 a piece. Because I
Okay,
like those.
1/3 a cupcake.
Yeah, 1/3. So no more cupcakes for me for a very, very, very long time. So we gotta get to the goal. We gotta hit the goal. So anyway, all right. Was there anything else, Blades, that you thought that caught your eye other than those games that you already talked about?
Nope. That's all for me.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
All right, yeah. I'm gonna go to Sir X Man. What do you think? What was some of the
Mm.
games that caught your attention? I already know that
Stabby,
you're gonna talk
stabby,
about
stabby, 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 stabby,
I
stabby,
knew it.
stabby.
I knew it. And people in the chat, let us know too as well what games that caught your eye that you're really hyped for. I know that this one that you're seeing right now, wait, boy, cannot wait for this.
Look, the
Sir X
Michelin
Man.
Man.
Yeah. So what games what caught you other than the
Forza,
stabby and Forza?
Forza, and Starfield. I was hoping they showed more of Warhammer, instead of me seeing it on the other show, because that's what I'm saying. But they can't because of the Activision deal, so they can't really do that right now. My sons are looking forward to what's that game? Overwatch. They love Overwatch. They ridiculously play that damn game.
Yes.
It's not my thing, but they like
Yeah.
it. I've played it a few times and it was fun, but not my thing. Pretty much I'm basic. Pretty much Forza. I know it wasn't showed at the show, but Call of Duty. And I did like the second show on Tuesday where they went in more detail about some of the games coming out. That part I liked. I liked the showcase the after showcase a lot better because I want to know more of what we were getting into. And for those people that say that this game looks like it's gonna be like a No Man's Sky, no, because in No Man's Sky you don't really have deep conversations with people. You don't really have, a lot of missions. You don't have side quests. All it really is like a how can I say it? Like a fetch for your equipment. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, look at the young lady that just jumped in here.
Whoa!
Holy yes! She's in the house.
She has returned. What's in here? What you doing in here? You supposed to be on hiatus for about 2 years. Not playing.
You got the back call.
She got the back call. What's up, lady? You
Gentlemen,
Oh,
gentlemen.
Stranger
my
danger,
God.
stranger danger.
Stranger danger. What's going on here?
Welcome,
They
girl.
might
We've
Welcome
been missing
back.
you, girl. We've been missing you.
I knew that you said you had to take some time, but I was thinking,
Hey.
well, appreciate it. So you feel good? Everything good? Everything right?
Everything getting better.
Oh.
Nah.
Okay, went too far with it then, I guess.
You see, he got his little box back, right?
Oh yeah, you know I got that there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh Lord.
But nah, she can be next. I'm almost done with the thing. But like
Lord,
UK Mega, I don't think because for the past 3 to 4 years we've been getting a wow factor from Xbox. We didn't get that this year, and I was so looking for that, man, really. And
Are you
we
sure
had
about
a few.
So nothing on the show wowed you.
Yeah, Forza wowed me, and Hot Wheels. Oh yeah, they wowed me. But you know how they are. Normally when they be like, oh yeah, and one last thing, I was so looking forward to that, man. They've been doing it for every other show for the past 3 to 4 years, and that just like took it away. Something that blows up Twitter every time Microsoft shows something. You know what I'm saying? And the people get mad because why can't we have that? And they be like, man, Xbox is getting all the good stuff.
And so you don't feel like nobody. Okay.
I mean, I like that. I like the flight simulator stuff. That I like. I can't wait to play the Pelican. I can't wait to play that. Now that I figured out how to use flight simulator on the console, I have to hook up my USB my what do you call it? My mouse to the Xbox to get it to work correctly. I can still use the controller, but I have to go through the functionality and the stuff that they have with my mouse. But other than that, it wasn't a bad show. Like I said, I'll give it an 8. But I was just missing that wow factor that I'm so used to with Microsoft, man. That's just me. Everybody's got their own opinion.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
And I love Microsoft, and I've been here a long time.
I know, but why are you still trying to explain yourself? You said what you had to
Because
say.
I know UK Mega.
Well, no, I still got my rant that I didn't go through last week. I mean, last night.
So you actually had a few disappointments yourself, huh?
No, not for me.
Oh, okay.
But we got the same. I give it an 8 out of 10. I mean, because there was a part for sure that in the middle that was the slow down part. So, but where I disagree with you is that of the wow moments, because there was a couple of wow moments for me, but I will explain that here a little bit later. Let's go to D. What's up, girl? What's happening? What we're
Hola.
doing a recap. What was some of the games that caught your attention from any of the shows? Not only just Xbox, but from Capcom, Square Enix, from the summer Game Fest. Whatever that caught your attention. What was those games?
I'm not gonna lie, you just said that and my mind just went completely blank.
I know there's a lot of stuff that was shown. Yeah.
Um I mean, having that wow factor is kind of subjective.
Mm-hmm.
And I am on the same line of thought as Sir X-Man.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like even though we saw a lot of games and they are going to be within the next 12 months, which is all well and good because that lets me know that they're being attentive to what their fan base is saying as far as what they expect to see.
Mm-hmm.
I still felt like there were things for me personally that I would have liked to see that would have given me that excitement. um that's not to say they didn't show things that could conjure excitement, it just wasn't tailored for me. I feel like the show had something for everybody. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like indies are kind of carrying the industry at this point, which is not a bad thing. It just is what it is. But like Sir X-Man said, I expected that, oh, one more thing, and to be like, oh my gosh, they ended it on this ridiculous thing. And I didn't get that. I didn't catch the Capcom one. I didn't catch the Square Enix. I caught the timeline afterward. And some people, they're in hot shit with them. Others are praising them. So I don't know what the hell happened. I ain't gonna lie, because I didn't. I think I was at work when the Square Enix one. I know there wasn't no Tomb Raider talk because Sir X-Men didn't post nothing on Twitter. So
You knew that would have been on there, don't you?
yeah, I was
that would
like,
be the first
okay,
thing he said. Yeah. So
yeah. So I didn't see
That would
that. I
have
was
been
like,
my
oh.
moment right there.
right.
That's why I was like, oh, ain't no Tomb Raider shit, because Sir X-Men ain't saying nothing about no Tomb Raider. So I know that was, process of elimination. But I feel like, at this point, you knew Forza Motorsport was coming, and it looks amazing. It looks great, but I expect that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I expect that quality and whatever the hell else with the Forza Motorsport game. So I was like, okay, cool. It's coming within the next year because everything in the showcase is in the year. But I wasn't seeing, and the DLC for Horizon was cool, but we knew that was coming because they did the expansions during the early access pre-order thingy. So we kind of knew it was coming. I was expecting to see more of what we haven't seen or heard of. So I was expecting some Fable, some Gears, State of Decay, Indiana Jones, Contraband, like all those things that we kind of heard of a little bit, and then they kind of disappeared. But in the interim, a lot of games are going to be coming to Game Pass, which is, of course, solidifying the value for me personally. But I kind of walked away from the presentation like, okay, that was cool. But I wasn't like dumb excited, which is fine. Not every day gets to be Christmas. But I know people were dumb excited for Persona coming because y'all were talking about it. I was like, all right, it's going to snow in hell too because y'all keep talking about this damn Persona. But then it happened. I was like, oh shit. I owe apologies now because I was like, oh hell. I gotta go back and eat crow real quick because I was just like, okay, y'all keep dreaming. All right. But but that wasn't for me. So I recognize the significance of it, even though it didn't appeal directly to me, if that makes sense. Either way, everybody eating some kind of way. Whatever
Everybody eating.
platform.
That's a great
Everybody
way to
eating,
put it.
bro.
Everybody eating.
I
That's
can
for
agree
real.
to that.
Yeah, everybody grubbing. Everybody's getting a little
Mm-hmm.
bit. That was a smorgasbord that they showed as you're looking at it right here. Okay, so all right, for me. Now, again, I'm a little bit different about these shows than a lot of people because I'm always excited for any and everything. Like I said, all day Saturday, that's all I did. I didn't play any games. I just sat there and watched all the events that came through. And there were like I said, there was an indie event, there was a PC event, there was digital revolver or revolver digital. excuse me, there was also there was something that was sponsored, and there was this black girl and this black dude, and they were like representing like indies and games that was representing people of color. That was on Saturday as well, which was showing a lot of cool games as well. So it didn't end until like 7, almost 8 o'clock at night. So it was very, very interesting stuff to see. So now again, like me just talking about it, my head is going blank. But my oh wow moment was Wu Long. Like when I saw that, I thought Ninja Gaiden, and I was like, yo, no way. And the reason why it's a wow moment for me is because I'm thinking of I'm looking at like the Summer Fest show and Gundam, and then of course Persona, and I'm just thinking to myself, those are all wow moments, because last gen, none of them games would have been on the box. None of them. And you look at the progression of not only just the Japanese games that's available for Xbox coming into the future, but just the work that Phil Spencer and team has done to deliver the goods. And I know we'll be talking about Final Fantasy here a little bit later, but for the most part, they delivered what a lot of people was not expecting them to deliver. Like nobody was expecting Persona to come. I was saying it's due. It is due. It is due. Now, it finally came. Great. And it's here. Now, this is what the whole situation is, right? There's all these people that's now been talking about these Japanese games, and they want them, and they this and that. You know, Xbox needs to bring that. We got them now. Now, and on top of that, they're coming on Game Pass. So there's
that Woo game. You're right. I forgot about that.
There's no more excuses. There's no more excuses. Because a lot of people get on the internet and they talk a lot of shit, and then they don't support. They get out there and flex, and then that you don't see shit. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when you get those PlayStation stands talking about showing your receipts. It's not about that in the sense overall, because I don't care about people's achievements and stuff and trophies, but there's a lot of people been capping for it. So here it is. Xbox Field. So go get those games, download them, support them, play them, show as much gameplay as possible. And then what you'll do is that you'll find, you might never let the stand shut up, but they'll leave you alone on that aspect, because it's showing that you are supporting Japanese titles because you asked for them. So that right there was pretty hype. Now, a game for me that I'm fiending for, like I can't wait to play it, is Midnight Suns. Like I know that's not an exclusive or anything, but that's my jam. I'm gonna be all in on that. I'm already looking at the deluxe version. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna get that Spider-Man and all that. Matter of fact, I got the Spider-Man skin. And so now I'm gonna go ahead and cop that game. I'm not pre-ordering it because I don't trust the pre-orders anymore. But once that game was in like the 24-hour range, then I'll go ahead and I'll cop it. But I'm definitely excited for Midnight Suns. Another game, like for the game that Sir X-Man was talking about, High on Life, that looks absolutely fun as hell. Forza, of course, I'm huge on Forza, and I'm gonna have to. And finally, I got to see Starfield. Finally, I was over here telling people, man, reserve your hype. We haven't seen this game. I don't know anything about it. You don't know anything about it. It's rumored. It's this. It's that. But I will say, for me, I'm gonna get lost. I'm gonna get completely lost in that game. Y'all might not. You know what? Y'all might say, man, what happened to Mega? I don't know. He's gone. He was in search for the 1,001 planet. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
he's gone.
Hey, Mega, you heard that if you played the straight through the game story, it's only like 30 hours. But if you play all the expansions and everything that's in it, you can actually go through 250 hours in that game.
I guarantee you that game's gonna be bigger than that. I guarantee you that game's gonna be bigger than that. Because you know what I'm saying? I could see it. And well, and meticulous as I am about playing games, I take my time. I want to know, and then also that you got like they're gonna have credit and shit. Like you can do like get a loan, like from an intergalactic bank, and then if like you don't pay it, then you lose you
They're gonna
lose.
repo your ship.
Yeah, they'll repo your shit, and then also you lose, like, you know what I'm saying, like you get your credit score hit. So then, like, when you go and try to buy a certain item or something, they'll look at your intergalactic credit, and they're like, nah, bro, you can't get that. So like that's gonna be crazy. So I'm really looking forward to Starfield. I don't get the Starfield hate. Well, yeah, I do. I understand what the Starfield hate is, because for one, it's an exclusive, and two, there's people have this fantasy that if a game doesn't look a certain way, then the game must not be good. When in all actuality, all you got to do is look at a game like Elden Ring, and Elden Ring doesn't look nowhere near as good as Horizon Forbidden West. But I would, if you do a poll, I would pretty much think that it's going to be 7 out of 10 people that's going to pick Elden Ring over Forbidden West. Now, you know, I sit there and I make that comment.
That's game of the year this year.
And Dark was like, well, I like Forbidden West over that, but you know, that's fine. But he you know, he's an oddball sometimes. So we got to let the order be. So let me go ahead and read the super chat. Sorex, man, it's been a minute. How you been, bro? How you been? He says all 3 Persona games was a dream that came to reality. You said, I'm so happy. Great show, dudes. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Yeah, no, I mean that was huge as well to me, was seeing those games there. Now we're gonna see if people can really go into dark places, because Persona is pretty damn dark. So we'll see. We'll see. People have been clamoring for it. We will see. But anybody else have anything else they want to add about the games that they may now it may have crossed their mind while I was over here on my spiel?
I ain't gonna lie to you.
Mm-hmm.
I had no interest in Starfield.
Okay.
Not with malice, just
right.
It just, you know, just not. I wasn't interested. But after seeing the gameplay, the definitive gameplay, and the jetpacking, and then shooting the jetpack, and the dude flew off and like blew up, that's my kind of carrying on. So
you a hell yeah. Grand Theft Auto shooting somebody jetpack and watch him blow up.
Blow up. It was nice, and it kind of reminded me. I haven't beaten it yet, of course, but that first-person RPG right there reminded me of Outer Worlds, which is another game that I was just like, I'll try it, and instantly fell in love with it. So seeing that for Starfield, I was like, okay, I mean, you're probably going to take up all my space on my hard drive, but it really got my interest going as far as having another game. Then I think it switched from first person and third person in between, which is nice to have the option. So I was surprised that I was actually going to have interest. Again, I didn't hate Starfield, it just wasn't on my radar until they actually showed gameplay. Because concept art and Todd Howard talking about it, I don't trust him. Again, no malice, but the words are empty. Let me get the game in my hands and then be like, oh, okay, you weren't lying. Okay. But him being like, yeah, it's this many planets and you can do this. I'm like, all right, bro. Yeah. I'm not coming out of pocket for this, so we'll see what's what. But they showed the goods with the gameplay, which I appreciated.
This is why I love Game Pass. Came back because I can play it 3 different ways. If I want to sit in my room and play it, and I got it downloaded, I can play Starfield on my S. I'm not trying to gloat it, but Microsoft gives you options, and I love this. I can play it on the S in the bedroom and just the 1080 big 1080p TV, or I can go if I feel like I want to absorb it in its full graphics form, I could go play it on the X in the big room. And if I really want to sit down, relax, and play it on 3 screens, I can play it on my PC. I love those options.
There we go. He had to do it. Before you keep going about what I do have to say this. I forgot to mention this game, and
I can play it on my phone.
This Flintlock. I just wanted to just let people
Flintlock is dope.
Yeah,
that's day one.
That was another
game.
Day
one.
This looks dope. As you can see, this gameplay right here, like that looked fire. And then there was another like stealth-like game. Where there was this character going through the shadows. That was pretty damn.
When I saw that Woo game, because you reminded me of that, I actually thought of Tenchu. I thought it had a little bit of Tenchu Stealth Assassin in it, just a little bit, you
Yeah,
know. And
no,
I was like, "Ooh, is that another
yeah.
version of Tenchu?"
I thought it
I
was in the
know it's
game right
more
off the bat.
melee. I know it
Mhm.
was more. I know it's more melee, but it looked like it had some of that stealthiness in it that might be part of the game.
All right, let me read
You
the
know,
super chat from Mindbender, man. Appreciate you coming by, stopping by, man. Great show last week, man. Really do appreciate it. You stopping by, man. Again, anytime you want to come through, man, let us know. You know what I'm saying? The door is always open. He says, in lines up like this on each side of pockets, each end one of them and pay the bill. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, I believe he's talking about the Starfield currency thing I was talking about, I believe. So you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you gotta I think if that's what he's referencing to. If not, go ahead and tell me that I'm wrong and then explain it to me. But I think that's what he was referring to when I was talking about the money that you if you
in-game story build credit, like in No Man's Sky,
yeah,
you buy
yeah.
stuff and then you sell it to get some money and help get
Well, no.
things.
This is kind of
I know
like
it's based on your credit rating. I know.
yeah. So you know what I'm saying?
But you
That's what he
still
was
have to
referring.
go out there and still earn some money so you can sell for parts and things like that. They both go hand in hand.
What up, Stone King? What's up, guys? Man, Soren X, man, glad to see you guys. Anthony Chipmunk, as always. Sleepy Goblin, you know what I'm saying? One of the GOATs. Definitely appreciate you stopping through, for sure. Yeah, no, okay. So, all right, I'm trying to think. Is there anything else? I don't think there's anything else. All right, so, I mean, I know that there's something else that I'm missing. I mean, because I did like seeing Resident Evil. You know what? And Resident Evil did not. I, I'm not into scary games anymore, but there's two games that Protocol game,
Oh man.
that shit looked too raw, bro. I gotta play it. I gotta play it. I gotta play
Oh
it.
no. I'm gonna watch it because that gore is disgusting. I gotta
That,
see that shit. They
bro,
pulled that man to the thing, bones was crushing it. Woo!
yeah,
And
I
it's
was
on
like, oh
all consoles. That's
yo,
right.
what was
that shit was
nuts?
crazy.
I slowed it down because people might say, "Oh, damn, K Mega's the minute," but no, okay, because I wanted to see because this is an indie team that's working on this game. You know what I'm saying?
Oh?
So yes, it's only a small team that's working on that game. They are previous developers for Dead Right. Not Dead. What was the game called?
Dead
Dead.
Space?
No, the EA game that EA shut that studio down, and people in the chat will let me know. I can't think of the
Pretty
name.
sure it's Dead Space.
Oh yeah, Dead Space. Oh, I thought you said Dead Rising. Yeah, Dead Space. Yeah,
You
they're
said y'all see this? Y'all see this?
what
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I do, what I
You
do?
said Dead Rising. You gonna tell me I'm okay, that's all right. Y'all see it.
My bad. Oh
Y'all
shit,
see this.
my
I've been
bad.
back 2 seconds. You see how it go. All right.
My bad.
Mm-hmm.
My bad. My
Big
bad.
fail.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me throw the fail up.
Disrespect.
Oh my God, let me throw the fail. The fail is on me. It's on me, on me. All right, so so yes, but okay, so there was the part where you were talking about he got caught up in that grinder. All right, so like I slowed it down.
Yeah, and
I'm
then he bit
like,
his head off. The monster bit his head off.
yeah,
Yeah.
but like that grinder, like I was like, how detailed are they going to show these animations? And bro, it was so lifelike because each frame that you looked, you seen the tension. And then at first he's like, oh shit, I got my hand caught on this thing. Then when he tried to pull out, it sucked him back in. You seen the look of the emotion in his face, like, oh shit. And then once he's trying to fight back, he closes his eyes and squints, and then all of a sudden his eyes get big and he gets sucked in. And I'm like, that's almost too real. Like they put so much because I just wanted to see if they were going to have him like do a face and then he's getting sucked up. No, like the detail of how he was fighting to get out of it, and then having the expressions of like shit. And then he goes, oh shit, like, oh my God, like, and then he just gets sucked in. And it's nuts, man. Like, yo, I got to play that game just because it not only looks, it reminds me like Scorn. Scorn is just nasty. It looks like it smells, and it's just, but I want to play it because it's beautiful. And so in a
I think this
deranged
game
way.
you got up there is going to be a surprise hit. That gunfire one, I think that's going to be surprise. It just looks like one of them that'll sneak up on people.
Oh, yeah, could be. It's a mobile game too, so it's successful already, I believe. So, but yeah, no, I mean, you could be right. It's not like something I'm going to be playing though. That's
Oh,
just
I
not for
understand.
me.
It just looks. It's my type of game, though. I'd play something like this. It looks cool, though. Just you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, but that and then when they showed the stuff from Capcom with
I saw it.
with Resident Evil 8, I should say. I said 6, 8.
Hey,
I was like, yo, because they added so much other stuff to it with like this horde mode and then this other mode, and I'm like, okay, all right, I might find myself, picking that up on a sale or something and giving it a shot. So there'll be 2 scary games that I'll try to jump in.
and then they saw the offspring about the young girl and stuff like that. That was part of Resident Evil 7, I think, like that.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
showing her storyline, so
Yeah.
that looked cool.
That did look cool. So, all right. Okay. All right, so let's move on. Since we were talking about Final Fantasy VII, we might as well just go into it and get into it right now. Okay, so let's go back to our guest Blaze. All right, so let me go ahead and get your thoughts on this. Okay, so Final Fantasy VII Remake still isn't coming to Xbox. Some claims it's Xbox fault not fighting hard enough to try to stop Sony from doing these exclusivity or timed exclusivity deals. Do you agree with that? And what's your stance overall about this whole situation with the Final Fantasy VII Remake still not being on Xbox?
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think they should be really fighting if it doesn't necessarily belong to them. So what I mean by that is if Sony signed a deal with Square Enix that Final Fantasy VII Remake is supposed to be exclusive to PlayStation, why would Square Enix breach that contract just for the game to reach Xbox? So that's my whole logic on it. They really shouldn't have to if it's exclusive to PlayStation.
Okay, so all right. So what would you say to the people that have made the decision to say that this is Xbox fault not being too nice? Because I've been seeing a lot of that here the last couple of days, where people have been saying that Xbox is they're just too friendly, while PlayStation is just they're aggressive. They seem more hungry. Do you agree with that stance, or are you still sticking with what you were saying before?
I'm still sticking to what I was saying before. I mean,
Okay.
if it's exclusive to that specific console, then it stays exclusive to that specific console. Why? Because they signed, there's deals providing that game to be in that console. Shit, we even lucky to get that what's it, Crisis Core?
Yes.
That prequel, yeah, we're even
Mhm.
lucky to get that. So I mean, beggars can't necessarily be choosers. And if you have both consoles anyway, why would you even complain when you have access to it on your other console? So I mean, not no shade, but I can't necessarily relate because if I really want it on my console, I would just technically purchase the game if I really want to play it.
Okay. All right. Great points. Great points. What about you, D? What's your thoughts about this whole Final Fantasy situation, man? Does it aggravate you? Is it like you don't care? I mean, where are you at? Like, I mean, and also the part where people are saying Xbox is being too nice and they're not being aggressive enough to fight for these type of timed exclusive deals.
This is another franchise that I have no stake in. I've actually never played a Final Fantasy ever. So
Say what? Say what?
What?
I've never played a Final Fantasy ever.
I'm gonna have to send you Final Fantasy X. You need to. That's one of the best ones.
It was never. I was always just action adventure and racing growing up, so I missed out on a lot of things. But I haven't. I be seeing stuff on Twitter and what people are saying and whatnot. I can't, judge people's reactions to it. Um, people's thoughts and feelings are their thoughts and feelings, and they are valid because of that. I don't know about Xbox not being aggressive enough because I mean these kind of deals are done a lot. They may be pitched a lot that we don't know about. I'm not sure why Square Enix is picking and choosing, what goes to whom and such. But like was already previously stated, there could be deals in place that we're not aware of. Because I feel like a lot of times these companies are coming out like, "Hey, y'all, we signed an agreement for this much time that this company can only do this, that, and the third." So I feel like there are some things that we may not be aware of, but we're only just seeing the consequences of those actions. So I don't know. There are some things with Xbox that I'm like, that's very interesting that they're being kumbaya about things. But at the end of the day, most of the time when they're not being petty, the long-term benefit of it is money. Like that's all there is to it. Just like I heard, if when the deal goes through, they're gonna keep COD multiplayer. People are like, "Oh no, he's making it exclusive." That's money. At the end of the day, it's business, and companies want money. Whether they're friendly about it, not friendly about it, at the end of the day, none of these companies are nonprofit charities. If like was previously stated, if you have the system to play it, yes, it will suck. If you wanted it on your console of choice, only reason I could think of people being upset, like me personally, if I had a PS5, I don't have one yet. But if it was like, oh, it's not on Xbox, I want it on PS5, my problem would be that I just prefer to do things on Xbox because of cost efficiency. Like if, for example, if the Quarry was like a PS5 exclusive, I'd be kind of pissed because I'd have to pay $70 up front just to play it. Whereas because I'm on Xbox, I don't have to pay full price for it and get it heavily discounted. So I get people's hesitance in it, but I don't know. It's really strange times. I feel like we never know what's gonna happen as far as these deals and announcements and acquisition talks and all that. Because I feel like nowadays, I don't know about y'all, but I'm seeing like more outlets that are not gaming related commenting on gaming things or making their
Yes.
own
Yes.
divisions. Like I see Forbes
Mm-hmm.
Gaming all the time. I'm seeing Washington Post talk about shit, and I'm like, when did y'all? I mean, it's cool. Like it's spreading to more people, but I'm just like, when did Forbes have their
After the
own?
Activision deal.
No.
Like,
Forbes has been around
but
for a
Forbes is there
little
for a
bit.
minute, but even
Yeah.
like Washington
But
Post and
it blew up worse after that. 70
maybe
billion dollars. They
and
noticed that.
they noticed that. I feel like I saw some rumbles with Bethesda in 2020, but I feel like even NPR, like I'll search for something and it's like NPR gaming. I'm like, when did
Yeah,
NPR get a
that's
gaming?
shocking. Yeah, because I didn't even know that
Yeah, you
myself.
know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And I listen to
So
NPR all
it's
the time. Yeah.
so it's cool, but at the same time, it's just like I ain't gonna lie to y'all because I be dumb sometimes, and I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, ooh, I forgot money exists. Like as soon as there's big money, everybody wants a piece. So it's like, of
Mhm.
course, Washington Post is talking about game releases because it's a big ass industry that's been ignored for how many years. So we'll see how it all plays out or what other deals. I don't know what's going on with Square Enix. I ain't gonna lie to you. The fact they sold y'all help me. Who they sell for
Uh,
pennies?
Adios
To,
or
to, to,
Tomb
Crystal
Raider. Yeah.
Dynamics.
Crystal
Crystal
that
Dynamics.
don't
Yeah.
make
Dynamics.
no damn
Yeah.
like that don't for how it
Oh, I
was
got something to say about that part too. When it comes to the
like I
Square
don't
Enix, I can't wait for
they
my
do
turn.
what they do, what they want, when they want, and for who they want. Because I think they sold it for I don't remember.
300
$300
It could have
million,
been
300 million. Yeah.
how
330.
and that's cheap.
Yep. And
that
that's
don't make
considered
no
cheap.
sense. That don't make no sense. But you know, who knows why they do certain things.
Okay,
But
so Fahim, you know what I'm saying, the fan of the show, and I'm not gonna go
My
there. I
friend.
should, but
Oh, she
Fahim
blocked
said,
Fahim. She don't even see him no more.
So why cry over it if y'all don't like it? Oh, hold on. Oh my goodness. Okay, Fahim. All
But
right.
who
Just some
crying
of us
though?
that play Final Fantasy, dude. I wait till my turn to get on this one.
Yeah, yeah. Go
Oh, I'm
ahead, bro.
done. That's
Okay.
ain't no more of that shit. That's it.
All right. So Sir X Man,
Oh,
here you go.
I'm
sorry.
not trying to
You good, you
rub
good.
nothing in
You
to
good.
anybody out there, but I'm just got to say, if I wanted to play Final Fantasy 7 or the Crisis one that's coming out for Final Fantasy 7, I can play it on my PC because
Oh,
they
there we
always
go.
put
There we
There you
go.
go.
the
There we
Final.
go. There
But
this boy go. I'm gonna have to
but
get
am
me
I
a
lying?
PC sound or something in here.
But am I lying though, K Mega? All
No,
the Final
you're
Fantasy
not.
7 came on PC. The Crisis is gonna come on PC.
They
You
should.
know,
The hell was that?
I do have a PS4, PS5.
What's that noise?
Don't do that. Because
What?
it's open carry in Georgia. Don't do that shit. I put it on my shoulder. Don't
it's
do that.
open.
Oh
It's
no.
open carry in Tennessee too.
It's open carry in Oklahoma too. So yeah, so you
Don't
did.
don't do that. I'm flinching. Don't do that shit. Mm.
But no, like I said, I'm on Amazon in reserve for a PS5 whenever they get it, and I'm gonna get it whenever they let me know. I got 72 hours to pay for it, so
Okay.
I'll be cool
Hey,
when it comes out.
Sir X-Man.
I'm not selling it.
Sir X-Man, Rouse is a geek in the chat calling you a snob with your PC, my guy.
I
Oh
love you
man.
too, girl. You my homie.
Uh,
Why don't you come on in here and talk that crap,
oh,
nigga?
okay. We see you, bro. I'm gonna let you in too big. I see you, bro. Come on in
But
here. You know
but
what I'm
back to
saying?
what I was saying.
All
You
right.
know, I don't think it's fair
Come and hop
for
in,
the
too big. Come on, hop
I
in
don't
with
think
us.
it's fair for the Xbox people. I
Oh,
really don't think
and I
it's
see
fair.
the so now the people are coming to show. They ready to show up now. Here comes the Don and
Yeah, I had to have a burger, man.
oh,
That and I had to
Oh, I love
interrupt.
burgers.
Had to interrupt Sir X-Men.
why
I
people-
knew it
outside
was
of that.
coming. I knew he did that over
why people up here want to talk about food while I'm on this crazy diet now?
Man,
Ain't
I had
nobody
some
tell you to do
blue
that.
cheese and bacon and barbecue.
Why?
Ooh boy.
Why can't I just get my turn and just keep going? Why?
I'm
Go ahead, Sir X-Men. Go ahead.
Yeah, don't act like you don't have 3 monitors. Just keep going.
Because you was talking about PC. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, but like I was saying, you can play it on PC. You know, all the Final Fantasies that they have. But I still think it's unfair for what Square Enix did to, even though if it's a Sony thing that they're setting it up, but you made us a promise when that game came out that it will be there 1 to 2 years later. And here it is, and you're breaking that promise. You're losing money right now. By the time you decide to release this, and you're talking about releasing it when all the episodes come, nobody's really gonna care anymore. Because there'll be too many good games on Xbox by then for anyone to even care.
I ain't gonna lie.
It's the truth.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. You right.
Nah, go ahead.
Okay.
No, you can. I know what you was gonna say. Say it.
What was I?
Please.
What was I gonna say?
You was gonna say, I ain't gonna lie. By the time it come out in the next 5 years for Xbox, ain't nobody gonna care no more.
Well, I wasn't gonna say that, but they should be familiar with that's like because they did the same thing with Tomb Raider, which I thought was stupid. Make no mistake. I thought that shit was stupid, and they brought it to PlayStation as the anniversary edition. And I was like, why would y'all wait? Because now the PlayStation gamers have a bitter taste in their mouth, as they should. You put Rise of the Tomb Raider. You did the reboot for everybody. Then you did Rise of the Tomb Raider as Xbox One only, and then you released a definitive edition. It was almost too late at that point,
Yeah, nobody did.
and people were just
there.
Because
nobody.
that first one
The
that they
first one
released,
was
they made
mhm.
they sold 8 million copies. That's more than Final Fantasy 7.
That's why I'm just like, why would y'all
Final Fantasy
do
7. No,
that?
Final Fantasy 7 sold more than that, bro.
Mm,
Yeah, Final Fantasy 7 sold.
Listen,
they
I'll look
gave it
that up.
away free to a lot of people.
I'll look it up. But go ahead.
I don't know why they would. I don't know why they would do that. And I feel like that's what happened with Tomb Raider, which was sad because to me, for me personally, I'm not saying nobody else, anybody should feel the same way. Rise of the Tomb Raider was my favorite in the series.
Yeah, that was a great game.
Absolutely. The expansions are great too. So it really sucks. I try to tell all of my PlayStation only friends, like, yo, I know it sucks. They shouldn't have done it because that was stupid. Because it's not even like they owned it. It's not like Gears where it's just like this is Xbox only. Like they don't own Tomb Raider, so I didn't understand what the point of it was. I guess to push systems.
Well, they
But by
didn't
the
have
time
nothing out at the time, D, so they had to do something.
that's true, 2015 was dry. But
Mhm.
it's by the time it came to PlayStation, people were
Ooh.
like, "Fuck it, I don't care."
People ended up
Sir,
buying it on
Sir X Man, I
PlayStation.
don't think you might be
They
right.
did. They did.
You might be right. It just says it sold more than 5 million copies, and I'm looking at something from like 2021 to 2022.
Mhm.
So you might be right. It might not have hit 8 million yet. Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
but okay, on the other part of this back end that I'm gonna
Mhm.
say and just get it out of my system, Square Enix
What's up,
is
Ross?
going to regret letting Crystal Dynamics go for over 300. Because when Tomb Raider comes out, I'm sorry, it's going to make you more money than by the time you release this version, this other part of the Final Fantasy that you're putting out. And don't get me wrong, I think once this Activision deal is done, Microsoft, don't quote me on it, but I'm hoping this, the way it's flowing, it seems like that might happen. Might find a way to scoop up Crystal Dynamics or the whole developer or the whole company that bought them because they got the money.
Well, no,
And that's a
Xbox is not.
lot of IP.
Xbox is not going to cop Ember's Group. That
But they might give them more money than what they paid for Crystal Dynamics to grab it.
I mean, there's a possibility that they could try to go after. I really personally don't think that they'll. I don't think that they'll touch it because it's a multi.
They only pay $300 million for it, right?
No, I know. I got you on that. I mean,
But if they offer them $1 billion for Crystal
I-
Dynamics,
They're not offering no damn.
they're not offering them for that much money. The best thing, this is the best opportunity for.
I'm just
come on.
giving something. They got the money to bid for them.
But this is where they win, and then we got to go because we have our other guest that came in. But this is this is the point I wanted to address. It's a win for Microsoft for this reason because it's not in Sony's hands,
That's true. I know.
or in Square Enix hands anymore. And what they could do is that they can make a deal with Ember's Group, and they could put the next Tomb Raider on Game Pass. And that's the win. They don't have to. They don't have to own. They don't have to own it in order because if you get Tomb Raider on Game Pass, then that's the win right there.
But
you know what I'm saying?
To my point, real quick, Mega,
everybody wins.
If Tomb Raider comes out and it makes way more money than the next version, and it's gonna and if it's good and it makes more money than what Square Enix puts out, there's going to be some extreme regret on that end from somebody saying, "Why do we do that?"
It could be. Now, you know what my point of view is behind it is that they're like I'm looking at the super chat from Dragonheart Yobi, man. Really do appreciate it, brother. He said they let it go cheaply because they're seriously in the red. That could be a factor. And
I
then
understand
also
that part.
another factor from my point of view is that they're over here, cutting, cleaning house to get acquired by Sony. So I mean, because it just doesn't make sense. Some people would look at it and say, "Well, you can have Tomb Raider and Uncharted." No, not really. I mean, that
they're not in the red from Tomb Raider. They're in the red from the other games that they've put out.
But regardless, the whole situation, whatever the Rise of the Tomb Raider did not sell well on PlayStation at all, and so
sad.
They're still mad because it's on Xbox. They don't want it on Xbox. They want it on it. They want it on their console.
They wanted it day and date. They wanted it day and date. But regardless, the point of making is that I think that you could be right. I don't know, but I'm thinking it is more that Square Enix is just probably wanting to get acquired by somebody, and so I think
and that's going to be Sony. We know.
Yeah, so most likely it might be Sony. So I don't know. We'll see. But
I'd rather it be Nintendo, but that ain't gonna happen.
No.
Go back home to where you started. They got the money.
They got the money.
They got the money.
But they ain't got the hardware to make. I mean, look, after we seen
It's not just about money; it's about the relationship with the studio. I mean, that's the reason why everyone's talking about this whole situation with Final Fantasy and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
People forget Sony used to own part of Square.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They were highly invested in Square for a certain period of time, and then they sold their shares or whatever. So they have this like back and forth relationship, and it's not a bad one. Just a little bit of a back and forth relationship. So it's kind of like, you know, if Bethesda was on the market, yeah, you can Sony and say Microsoft can offer the same amount of money, but what's going to probably lead to a better product if you're Bethesda? You're going to say, well, probably Xbox because I have a strong relationship with them. I know what to expect. I know how to work with them as a partner, right? Same thing with when you're talking about Square. Like they know how to work with Sony. They've worked with Sony way before this, right? They've, you know, they used to be, you know, they didn't own the whole company or anything like that, or even a majority, but they owned a chunk of it. It was like, I don't know, it was like 10 to 20% of the company. So it was kind of a big deal. I think they sold their shares around PlayStation 3 era. I think they were hard up for cash at the time. Sony, not in the sense that they're going out of business, but you know, they're trying to operate more in the black with their investments, and so they sold a portion of it. But yeah, they have a strong, lasting relationship. It wouldn't surprise me if they sold out to them for that reason alone.
Yeah, no, that's kind of like that same type of relationship that you were saying. But welcome, Don. Really do appreciate it. But there's somebody that is that's their first time coming on to GRG. You finally made it. Too big. What's happening with you, bro? Glad for you to make it. Let people know about you. You know whatever you do, your videos, Twitch. You know, if you're a podcast, let everybody know a little bit about you, man.
Oh, first off, happy Aloha Friday, everybody here.
Happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Aloha Friday. I'm from Hawaii, obviously.
Okay.
So,
okay.
I know. I met Ham through the podcast that I jump on every so often. I'm part of Talk Story Podcast Hawaii.
Hola.
Yeah. I do a little bit of streaming on Twitch every Friday night. Just my Pauhana stream, which is finish work stream. I think, yeah, and that's pretty much it. Just a normal guy from Hawaii, just playing games.
Playing games. What is your preferred console, and what are some of the games that you like to play?
Preferred console for years, I was Xbox. Because I couldn't afford a PlayStation, so I've always had Xbox for maybe the last 15 years. Till recently, I just was able to get myself finally a PS5, built me a computer. So I'm across the platforms. I'm on Nintendo.
PC Master Race. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, but you play on everything, but you prefer PlayStation and PC.
I actually prefer now. I'm preferring my PlayStation, my PC more than anything else now.
Okay.
My man.
To listen to this. Okay, all right. Have a little bit of everything on here, and then Don. For people out there that don't know who you are, let people know a little bit about you, man. You know what you do.
Small-time game developer, and then I kind of interact with the gaming community here and there whenever time permits in regards to that. So I game stream. I have a small YouTube channel that I'm kind of doing the uphill shuffle to that magical 1,000, but I'll get there. Betrayal. Over time. And yeah, me, you know, if you ever hop in a party, there's a good chance me and K Mega are probably playing a game or talking about a game in an Xbox Live party. So,
oh yeah, no doubt. Turtles tomorrow, right?
Well, I'm going to play it tonight, right after the podcast. That's one of the reasons why I snuck in here. So I wanted to see if you're a game.
I might be game.
Maybe we may be able to get fresh crew. You never know.
We could. Since I mean, you know, Too Big said that he streams or plays or whatever. I mean, we got people in here that we got plenty. We need
my stuff is loaded. My stuff is loaded. So just half an hour after the podcast. Let's go.
Okay. All right, no doubt. Well, let me go too big about this Square Enix thing, and then Don, I'll go to you last.
Sure.
What do you think about this whole situation, too big, about basically that Microsoft comes off to come off a little bit too nice, and they're not aggressive enough, and this is the reason why Square Enix kind of panders to PlayStation instead of putting a game like Final Fantasy VII a remake on Xbox, like a lot of gamers were anticipating. Do you believe that, or do you think that it's just something else?
It's just something else.
Okay.
I don't think Microsoft relatively wanted, or Xbox in general, just having that. I know we got some Final Fantasy stuff now on top of Xbox now, but I don't really see them. That's where they was trying to push in that direction just yet. Even though they should have. I mean, it would have. I mean, personally, I didn't really care too much. I'm gonna just probably catch gas from this now. I don't really care too much about Final Fantasy.
Wow, like, man, come on, man. What's happening here? Am I the only one that cares about Final Fantasy in here?
I didn't.
I mean, and that's okay.
Blades,
it's not nothing.
Blades
It's
said
not with.
he wasn't interested.
It's not with malice.
I mean, it's not like that I'm not interested. It's more so like, if it don't apply to me, then, of course I'm not gonna let it fly. Like it's just fake outrage to me at this point, because you can buy a PS5 or a PS4 and play Final Fantasy VII Remake if you really, really, really want to play it.
Mega got a PS4. He can play it. He got it on his PS4.
I bought it from a PS4, but I want to play it.
You didn't know that, D?
Yeah,
I knew it. I just like when you're being shady.
Yeah, but you can. I want to play it at its highest fidelity. I don't want to play it on the 4. And on top of that, I
play it on your
because
PC
of
then, so you can play it at its highest fidelity.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Your PC can play it.
Oh, I know my PC can play it. Yeah, no, and that's why I'm going to get it on PC. But
do you have 3 screens though?
I don't have 3
screens.
But do you
got 3?
There you go. I got.
I'm gonna get Spider-Man on PC when it come out. Unless I get the PS5 first.
I got a widescreen, so does that count? Because I can split it up into 3.
Widescreen is just as immersive.
So
how big is your widescreen?
That sounds a little personal, man. You just Teammate has measurements, man. What the hell is up with that shit?
Whoa.
That's the game I can't wait to play right there. That Wu-Lang game.
Yeah,
okay.
That game looks so dope.
What game? What happened?
Wulong.
Yeah, right. Fallen Dynasty. Yeah.
Okay, so
you looking forward to that one too? Huh?
Can I get the guest to talk, please?
Can you get away?
I'm sorry.
No. I'm talking to Sir X-Man. Sir X-Man, get into those rants, boy. I mean, get into the little. He looks at something.
You know what? You got a lot of nerve talking about rants, bro.
I haven't got into no real rant yet. I'm about to. Anyway, but Tubi, go ahead and go ahead and explain, because
on
Final Fantasy, because once you said that you didn't really care about it, then I was like, oh shit, and then we went left. But what else is do you have any other thoughts behind it? Other than you just saying that you just don't really care, it's not that big of a deal.
To me, it's not really big of a deal. I mean, like I said, I'm just not a big Final Fantasy fan. I never really got into it, so it was kind of not. It doesn't concern me. I'm more excited about other things coming in than that.
Okay, all right.
But let me say this though, because I think there's like a third person that's like, we're not Final Fantasy fans. I just know for me, and I feel like we're pretty much all level-headed, mature adults here, that I feel like I can include everyone here. I feel this way about Final Fantasy, like, it don't concern me. I can't judge, because I know when there are franchises I'm passionate about, when there are franchises that I care about, people usually are like, I know what that feels like to have that visceral response to something. So I definitely understand. where people are coming from, where it's just like, yo, I keep getting shorted. So while it may not concern me, I can understand being upset about it. I can't say, oh, it's overblown, they should get over it. I can't say that, because when shit pisses me off, I talk my shit. And I have empathy, because sometimes shit pops off. People are just like, it's not a big deal. You're like, no, this is a problem. So I get it. There are things where it's just like, all right, y'all, just buy or do whatever. But I definitely understand where y'all are coming from. Or whoever feels any kind of way about it is coming from, as far as, this is a series you care about. The same way, when Battlefield came out and K-Mega pre-ordered it, when I told his ass not to pre-order it,
Stop
especially
it.
when he got the special edition that was $100 and it's collecting dust. I couldn't judge because I pre-ordered Cyberpunk and I was pissed because we all know what happened there. And I couldn't get a refund because I got that shit free. Double insulting. Couldn't even do shit with it because it was free. So, we all have our turns when there's just something that we feel good about, feel bad about. This one, I'm gonna sit it out. But if some shit pop off or you bring up Rockstar, I'm gonna talk my shit.
Okay. Yeah, we know.
I
You're gonna talk
understand.
about your Rockstar.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not my turn to be.
Not to
It's
be
all right.
too petty. And people gotta stop talking about my boy Phil. Phil look like he been eating good. There ain't no problem with that. Phil look a little bit.
Amen.
Now you know where all your donuts
Amen.
came, nigga. Now you know where all your
Stop
donuts.
my boy Phil. Stop that.
My man
Phil laying
my
up
man
with
eating
his
good at home.
woman.
You know
Eating
what I'm saying?
good, boy. Yeah, hell yeah.
My guy looking healthy. He ain't stressed at all over there.
No, he ain't stressed.
All right, my guy.
Phil said, "I'm the Doom Slayer." Talk that shit, Phil. Anyway,
I was like, okay, that's all right.
Anyway,
can we just appreciate Sarah Bond's Slay-Doh?
Oh man, goodness.
Can we appreciate? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Sarah Bond looked good on stage. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay, all right. Let me go ahead and just let everybody know this. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there's some information. There's some breaking news.
Is that a harpsichord?
Okay, yeah, that was really that was the NFL draft thing, but that's
actually,
really...
K-Mega has a harp right next to him. I don't know if you guys know this or
not. I do. But anyway, that was you saying that Sarah Bond was slaying, right? All right, so yeah, she was clean. She was clean. But my boy Phil, look at Phil, looking strong and stuff. Give it up, Phil. You know what I'm saying? You're doing a great job, man. All right, Don, what do you think, man? What's going on with this whole Final Fantasy thing? I mean, and don't tell me that you're one of these. You're like everybody else on the panel so far.
Oh, you know I've been this way for years.
I know.
What, confused?
But I don't get the argument though.
Yeah.
Like people say that Xbox needs to fight more. Is that what the argument is?
Right. Yeah. That's what's been here for the last 2 days, saying that Xbox is playing too nice. And that's
how many studios and how many publishers does Microsoft have to buy for people to realize that they're they're fighting? They're in the fight, right? Just because they did it with a smile. I mean, man, there's nothing worse being knocked out with the person ahead above you with a smile on their face, right? Like that's just kind of how Xbox does it. And and people criticize their, how they do play nice with developers, but at the same time, that's how you build relationships, right? People don't realize where Xbox burned a lot of bridges going into the Xbox One generation. That's one of the things that deeply affected them. And it affected them not being the first choice to release products on their hardware outside of, the popularity of the hardware out of the gate. So, you do have to kind of know your place. You do kind of have to know, you want to open up those business relations to other things down the road. I think this is something that, and look, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Kojima's last game or anything like that. And I don't know if I'm going to be a huge fan of his next project he's doing right now. Right. But obviously they fought for him. Right. That's some people criticize. So obviously they're leveraging their technology, or leveraging what they have at Xbox to entice creators to make games on their platform. And so that's something pretty unique for Xbox. I think with these sort of fights, you also expect Sony to do the same, and there's going to be some losers and winners in the grand scheme of things. In regards to that, and I think Sony just has a strong relationship with Square, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. They've cultivated for years. Probably for some people, they've cultivated that relationship longer than some gamers have been alive, right? Like it's not like, hey, they were best friends, yesterday, right? So, they've had a strong relationship ever since they kind of, Sony decided they weren't going to work with Nintendo anymore and do their own thing, and they kind of stole the hearts of Square right out from under Nintendo, and it's kind of been in their ballpark this whole entire time, and it's been an uphill battle for any platform provider to get support from Square in regards to that. And people talk about the money aspect of things. You got to realize, like, some of these deals, like if a publisher is going to take a deal, if I was going to take a deal like this, right, I would look at how much money I would lose in that period of time on the other platform, and that's my leverage that I would ask for the, if someone's asking for exclusive rights, that's the amount of money that you ask for, and then some. Does that make sense? So that puts guaranteed bank in your bank, right? I mean, in a lot of ways, person that's probably losing the most would be Sony, not Square, in that deal. In regards to that, but Sony is not looking at it from an individual title level; they're looking at it from a platform level, and Square's looking at it from a title level, and so that's kind of how those things go. So, I mean, as I said, I think if Xbox and Sony offered the same amount of money to Square, there's no doubt in my mind how aggressive my Xbox was that Sony was going to win that bid just because of that relationship, unless there was some sourness going on with that relationship. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's unfortunate, but if you're one of those gamers that just don't own one platform, there's solutions out for you. You can get a PS5 in the meantime, or you can get yourself. You said it was on the 4, so it's you can get yourself a PlayStation 4 if you don't care about the fidelity at that level, or you can start investing.
Will not be on PlayStation 4.
Oh, the new. So they're not. They're not making it backwards compatible.
Yeah, the next one will not be backwards compatible.
Okay, so then PC would be your other option, right? So, there's options for gamers out there in regards to that. And I understand, like, I remember when I was a kid, I only owned one console. I get it. I've been there. I don't want to be unsympathetic for people in that situation. But if you're an adult and you got a job and in a relationship with somebody that's somewhat understanding, you can own multiple consoles.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? There's nothing stopping you in regards to that. So, I mean, but I want to see. I mean, I would like to see Xbox strengthen those relationships. I guess there is a flip side to that. I mean, there's no reason why Xbox can't strengthen those relationships down the road. Doesn't mean like Square is a lost cause regardless if I'm into the game or not. Obviously, it's a beloved franchise. It's been around for a long time. When I think about like RPGs, what's the top RPG out there? I don't think of Bethesda game. I think of Square because they've been doing it longer. In regards to obviously totally different style of games, but they've been doing it longer, and it's a more known franchise. It's like Nintendo said, "Hey, we're going to release a new Zelda tomorrow." Like everyone would kind of perk up because it's a game that's been around forever and it's beloved. Same thing with Square. So with their Final Fantasy. So by all means, I wish everyone the best of luck, and gamers got to make the choice what makes the most sense for them in regards to that. And I can't fault a gamer for picking up another console, and if they can only afford one console, maybe pick up the Sony console because this is the game they want. I mean, you can't fault gamers for that. Like, that's not their fault. So,
I mean,
I think it's a little weird.
Person in the room now.
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to go to it. Yeah, so no, I agree. Like, I mean, if you like those type of games, then most likely then you would you get a PC, build you a PC, or get you a PlayStation. It's one of the other until Xbox built their portfolio. So Robs, go ahead. What you gonna say?
So it's like one of those questions is like, are you a fan of the game or are you a fan of the platform?
Right.
Right. You got to make a choice sometimes, and this is one of those situations. Are you a fan of the game or are you a fan of the platform?
Real talk. All right. Okay.
That's
So,
good right there.
Ham Solo. We wish you was here too, brother. But man, we knew that you had to take care of your business. Abacab. Thank you, brother, for stopping by. And man, with the super chat, and like I said earlier, the super chat works. Be so kind to go ahead and throw that super thanks or that super chat. Thank you, appreciate it. Yes, because Sir X Man threw $2 at me and said, "Bro, you broke," and I said, "Okay, I'll." You know what I'm
I
saying?
did not say you was broke.
You want to throw? You want to throw that change?
I was
Go
trying
ahead,
to tell
bro.
people to share it out, man. You just gotta slow that slander, don't you?
You goddamn right.
You do me worse than you do the
That $2,
PS5
boy. You need this
fanboys, dude.
$2, boy.
You do me worse than the fanboys, man.
What
That's
are you
fucked
talking
up.
about, bro?
That's
Where's
fucked
my
up.
$2?
You threw that $2, man. They say threw that $2 at me, man. I'm like, damn. He threw it.
Wasn't that better off dead?
Dude, I just bought a Series S for the bedroom. Be nice.
I'm just giving you a hard time, Sir X, man. I really do appreciate
All
it.
last $2.
All right. But Abacab said, which will come out first? Final Fantasy 7, 16, or what is that? 14 or 15? Which one is that?
Yes,
14.
14.
14.
Okay, thank you. You know what I'm saying? When you do them numerals, however you say that shit, let me be country. And guys, if you ever come up on the show, and if I fuck up on a name or spelling or anything like that, that's the first thing I'm gonna go to.
Country.
Let me be country. I'm a country boy. So anyway, yes. Hell, I don't know. I think 16. I think 16 might drop. I don't think none of them's gonna drop. Well, I think the online game will
Isn't
drop.
16 multi-platform?
No, 16 is on the PC and PlayStation 5.
Yeah, for right now. That's got the 2-year hit too, just like Forspoken. But anyway, Rob's a geek. You know what I'm saying? Finally, somebody with some taste in here that's up there that got love for the RPG.
Hold on,
Girl.
Rob's, what do you think about this?
President Weed.
Girls are back together again. Oh Lord.
The weave is back. So what do you think about this whole situation? Do you think that Xbox is playing too nice and PlayStation is just being so aggressive that this is the reason why Square Enix is working more with PlayStation than they are with Xbox? Do you agree with that?
Like Don said, like they pretty much own a portion of it, and like I said before, these Japanese companies like to play close to the chest. They like to play with stick with what they know. They know Sony in and out, so they're gonna be with Sony in and out, and that's where their games sell mostly is with Sony. Like even though they got different games, it's eventually it will come. Final Fantasy 7 Remake will eventually come on the Xbox because they have all the others. They have all the they have all some of the modern ones, and they have the I think from do they have these? They don't have do they have the OG7?
They got the original. Yeah, they got it.
Okay, so they already have the remakes of the OG games. So it's not like they're not gonna get it. It's probably eventually it will come to the Xbox. It's just that it seems like with these Japanese companies, they're more going towards the PC route. Because like a lot of JRPGs are coming out on the PC. Hell, even some JRPGs are not available on the PlayStation or Nintendo because they're on the PC.
Right.
And see, Japanese and in Japan, mobile is popular. Like we getting mad about certain games that's on mobile, but that's their bread and butter is the mobile games. Because they got 2 Final Fantasy mobile games that people like wanting to play, but it's gonna be on iOS and Android. So it is what it is. Like I said, it'll eventually come. Hell, I was surprised that Persona was coming on.
I told you. I told you it was coming. I told you the mighty Persona.
That shit woke me up. I was bored with the presentation.
Yeah, I was like, girl, I don't know what's going on.
What? I heard the music. I'm like, what? Even though I played the games like multiple times. I am excited. I could play it on my TV. I gotta play it on my Vita. I gotta dust off the Vita.
And it'll be in Game Pass. So you can play it on your
Game
phone
Pass,
if you're doing something.
Yep.
It'll be in the cloud.
Go
Yeah,
ahead and say your 3 screens, Sir X-Man. Go ahead and say your 3 screens.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm playing it on the phone in the cloud. Why am I gonna have 3 screens?
Here,
You still,
I got a Razer Kishi, bro. I can play it anywhere I want to.
Oh, you got a Razer Kishi?
Yeah, I got one day one.
No, with the flex.
What is he doing talking about quiches? Like, what's going on here?
Oh yeah, you the quiche man. Don always talks about making quiche. Don't he, K-Maker? He always talk about making quiche or a dish.
I love me a good quiche.
Oh man.
Or frittata.
Y'all gonna make me put out.
Sorry.
I'm not gonna,
you need to make a food channel, K-Maker. We talk about food all day.
I'm doing that.
Poor K-Maker's eating rice cakes right now. So what's going on?
I'm on a diet now, so I don't even want to be talking about what
I hate rice cakes.
Eating like fucking keto chips and shit.
Yes, exactly. Yes. I had.
But you on a keto diet?
Huh? What's that?
You on a keto diet?
No, I'm just on a regular diet, man. Got to, what I'm saying, dropping it down to like 15 to 2,000 calories. That's it. But really 1,500 calories. So, to make sure I get to the desired weight before we get this shit popping. So I'm like, damn.
Trying to get buff.
Yeah.
Trying to show off.
I'm about to show off. I'm about to show.
Anyway.
Okay, so anyway.
Though it's thigh season, shorts.
No.
She meant the hoochie daddy shorts.
I ain't wearing no hoochie shorts. When I take off my shirt, it's all
Daisy Dukes, man.
All mammal man. Nope.
Yeah, K-Maker's got the hoochie shorts with the mustache. He's got that caterpillar on his upper lip.
That's so messed up.
Y'all killing me, bro. Y'all killing me. I'm not wearing no hoochie shorts. Maybe you might be wearing some hoochie shorts, huh? Not me, goddammit. Anyway, Dragonheart Yogi in the house. He said, nobody cares about your funky ass computer with your 3.
Hey, my what you call funky ass computer can always be on GRG every week. Thank you.
He said, nobody cares about that funky ass computer with those 3 screens. We know
rocking the 3060 Ti. Thank you very much.
He says them TLC monitors. Stop it.
I got Jesus.
Yobi said that like it's like you got taste stink from coming from your computer.
I got 3 Jesus tough, the tough version of the monitors. I'm good, bro. Thank you. Each one of the monitors cost me $250 a piece. Thank you.
It's good, man.
Let me get $1
here. All right, Lord.
You said, give me $1.
Oh man.
You want me to buy you a sandwich? What kind of sandwich?
And Curie, you're right. Roman numerals. I know how to say it. I just was trying to say it fast. Roman.
You should know Roman numerals. You played a lot of Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Bro, I know. What I'm saying is that I was trying to say it fast, and so when I messed up and I said Roman, and I was like, oh shit, let me be country. So let it happen, man. I mean, I try to stop myself from stuttering, so I'm like, I just said, well, just let me be country, guys. Just let it ride. And then
He sounds like Scooby-Doo over there.
Oh, hell, for him over here taking shots down. He said, can't make a twerking in his computer room. Man, I disrespect this, ridiculous. Okay, all right. Okay, we gotta get back focused now. Okay, so
man, K-Maker and Pred teaming up on their OnlyFans.
Oh, stop that! Hell
and Daisy Dukes.
Hey, this is me and Pred right here. Me and Pred gonna be grooving, boy. Look at that.
All I know is when K-Maker says crossplay, you know what's going on.
Crossplay.
What's the name of the game he was playing on Steam?
Oh, we don't want to go there.
Oh,
I'm talking about that game he was playing.
Hey, the game that you and Sir X-Man was watching me play. Yeah, you want to go there?
There was watching it.
You was
I
watching.
forgot.
Y'all nasty asses was watching it too. I was like, damn, they getting down. Oh man, so wild. Anyway, all
That
right,
was a
let's.
sick ass game.
You was over here. Damn, look at that, man.
Then I went and played Tomb Raider. And she came over there and watched me play Tomb Raider.
You watched it for about an hour, so that's okay. Okay, so here we go.
But you didn't know you could Steam stream either, though.
I'm going to skip 4 because 5 is really important. I definitely want to talk about 5. But let's see. I'll go to. Let's see what time we got. Okay, yeah, we could do 2 more. We got a large panel, but we could get 2 more because I don't think everybody's going to too long with this one. Okay, so let's go to let's go back to Blades because he's been quiet. You know what I'm saying? So let's go to him. So all right. Okay, Xbox gamers were told the reason why Xbox games going to PC is because the lack of buying Xbox games. Now that Sony's games are joining PC, could that be the same circumstance? What do you think about that? Because I we used to hear that all the time, right? And when you hear that, you're like, okay, all right, cool. But now the shoe is on the other foot. PlayStation is now putting their game, all of their first party. It's eventually about to happen, and it's going to happen quicker. Could the case be said for about Sony? Because I mean that's what they were kind of alluding to people last gen. What do you think?
Well, so okay, because this is going to be a little bit complex, but I'm gonna try to dumb it down a little bit. In my opinion, I think people buy their games from Sony. People buy their games from Sony clearly because some of those games are exclusive to Sony.
Mm-hmm.
So for games to just hit PC that are originally from Sony, I think that what they are trying to do is just make their exclusives more accessible to PC players as well. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the circumstances is different, and I also do think the same way with Xbox. People do buy their games on Xbox. People do buy their games on PlayStation. So if the game's headed to PC, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a price for you to purchase that game to play it on PC as well. Or unless they might have a subscription service to where you can play the game for free on PC. My stance still my stance is basically still supported within that aspect.
Okay, all right, no doubt. What about you, Robs? What do you feel about that? The way people just kind of use that. I don't know. I just think it's crazy in my opinion. But what do you think?
People need to realize this is a business.
Thank you.
Talk about
This is a business. They are going to make money. Xbox, Sony, any publisher are trying to make as much money as they can. They are going to put it on a platform where it's accessible. PC is very accessible. So of course they're gonna put their exclusives their exclusives on the PC because they know that that the PC is gaining more popularity than before, especially when you got like the Steam Deck coming out and other options besides getting a PC or another console. That's how I feel. Like at the end of the day, it's a business. This console war shit. People always got some goofy shit to say, like, "Oh, Sony doing this, Xbox doing that." It's a business. They are companies at the end of the day. They're gonna make money as best as they can, regardless.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. You're 100% spot on. Dragonheart Yobi, he says they won't admit to themselves the song's case because still to this day they want Xbox gone from the industry, hoping it happens overnight. They still look at Xbox as a fad that will fade away. You know, bro, that is true. There are people that still think that Xbox is like they're done. Not only that they're just going to acquire Activision, one of the biggest publishers that we've seen. But they're still a fad. They're on their way out of here. It is pretty funny. So what about you, D? What's your thoughts about this whole situation?
I think she got disconnected or jumped out by accident.
Oh, yeah. She probably got. Okay, I just see her going. Okay, yeah. All right. What about you, Too Big? What's your thoughts?
Oh, it's just like what Rob said. It's a business, right? It's a giant cash grab. They're gonna say all these things out there, like, "Oh, we're not selling enough games." Just play the pity factor, and for every fanboy for whatever side they're on, they're still gonna spend that money just for that platform. And then you introduce it to a whole new market that is untapped, where they can. This for PC, they're gonna catch people with these top-end graphics cards and overbuilt computers to play games. And why wouldn't you? It's just a way to catch money, and it's like for me, I see it. It's a good thing all around. It's more of a way for all the games to be accessed by more people, not just locked behind whatever box they're playing at. But it's just a cash grab. I don't see it's a lack of sales anywhere whatsoever, because there's no way these companies are not making their money off their games. It's not possible. Maybe Devil May Cry was kind of struggling for a little bit, but other than that, I don't think this is a bad thing.
You'll be surprised what doesn't make money or what does make money.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because people always look at the end number and they don't look at how much it costs to produce the product.
Very true.
In regards to that. So, I'm not throwing shade in any way, but that's one of those things. I think people assume a little too much right off the bat. So
for me, I'm just a gamer. I'm just a consumer from the outside, right? I don't know what goes in from behind or what's in from the development side. But who knows? You're right. I know you say you do a little bit of game developing too, Don. So as a consumer, to me, it seems like a cash grab. It's a great way for both companies to make more money, especially like Sony now jumping in, dropping that Spider-Man and God of War and all that coming to PC. So
Yeah. So you just basically I got what you're saying. No, I totally I agree with everybody what they're saying, and that's why I was gonna make Don last, because I knew that he was gonna have a different perspective unless Sir X-Man has has something that's closer to what Don is gonna is gonna say. But what do you think, Sir X-Man? Is this one of those things that you feel like this is a cash grab, or do you feel like this is that these publishers and
Hey, D is back. Go ahead and get D now.
No, I'm getting you right now because D was muted for a second. So I'm getting you. Go ahead.
Oh,
there can only be one host, man.
Yeah, there can only be one host. Go ahead, man.
Oh God, I love you guys so much.
You know me and Dog will get your ass. You keep on, man. Come on.
I love you guys so much. Y'all ain't nothing but trouble. You know that, right?
We are the yes,
but
the ebony and ivory of podcasting, man.
I said it once. I'll say it again. Everybody messes with me when I say it, but Sony need that bag, man. I'm sorry, Dick. Y'all might get mad, but Sony on welfare. Sony needs to get it wherever they can get it. I've said it so many times before. You got it, and they realize Microsoft was making money. People buy Microsoft games that are on Game Pass from the PC, and especially when they know that it's coming out of Game Pass and they get a deal on it, Microsoft will still let you play that game on PC that you purchased. It will still be in your app store. Even though it's not in the service anymore for Game Pass free, once you get it on that deal, you can still play it. Sony.
Sarah Bond alert, just letting y'all know.
But she too skinny for me, but still.
Oh my God! I just said Sarah Bond alert, man. Come on, man. Why
you shouldn't have said nothing, because I wasn't even looking at the screen until you said something.
Hey, Sir X-Men, just stretch over between all three screens. You got it.
Oh my God!
Don, I love you too. You got problems, but back to what I was saying. It's like they want the money. They need the money. They realize they're losing money. They figured be like Microsoft. Okay, you got billions and billions of people playing games on PC. They want a piece of that market. They want some of that money. It's like Rob said, it's a corporation. It's a company. They need to show profit, not show loss of profit. And if you ain't got the money coming in to develop more product, you're gonna lose in the end. Like you said, Microsoft got money. They've got money from so many outside ways. Sony really, and I've heard 1,000 times, they got a few other things out there, but primarily, right now, for the past 10 years, they've only had PlayStation. The other ones aren't making them as much money as they used to back in the 90s and the early 2000s. So they have to get it from somewhere. And I'm not mad about it. It's good for me and it's good for Sony. I have the ability to play their top games without buying a PlayStation. Even though I'm going to get one soon, I have the ability to get it here. I'd rather play on my PC so I could go on as high of a resolution and play it the way I want to. But if I have to, I'll play it on the console if I just want to sit back and relax, and it's a good thing for everyone in the industry. Maybe once they realize, oh, we're making more money on PC, maybe they'll start changing their minds on not all their high level IPs, but maybe they'll start changing their mind about, okay, let's throw some over there. And Microsoft will say, okay, you know what? We're going to throw some over there. Not the top dogs like Halo, Gears, and what's that other one with Nathan Drake?
Uncharted.
Uncharted, not the big ones like that in God of War, but some of their other developments. Like, say, you might actually see a Spider-Man one day, but you won't see the
Spider-Man is
super
coming.
big one. Huh? I know it's coming to PC,
Spider-Man.
but all I'm saying is maybe in the future they'll say, okay, let's see, make some money. Let's throw it on Xbox for a little while. Try it and see how it does. And maybe that's the path within the next 5 years where that might go. So all we can do is just see how this stuff is going to be playing out over the next few years, because things are so changing in this gaming industry right now. So let's just see how it flows, and hopefully things will get better for us, because Microsoft actually has too many developers out there in their things, and they might throw bones out. Okay, we got this game. It's made by our studio, but your people want it over there too. We might throw it over there. Maybe in a few years, Microsoft might throw Starfield over there. And, that's all I'm saying, because gaming should be enjoyed by everyone, everywhere. And that's all my thoughts on it. It wasn't that long, bro. That's just how I feel.
I was letting you get through. Now let's go to
And
D.
I really appreciate that today.
Yeah. See, I can,
Unfreaking believable.
I know, right? Tell me about it.
All right, D, what do you think, man? I don't know if because I know you dropped out, but did you hear what the topic was? Basically about the whole narrative about, the one reason why back then last gen when Xbox was putting that game on PC, they were saying because it was because of the lack of sales on the consoles. Well, now since PlayStation is putting their games on PC, could that be the same, or is it just basically like what everybody else is saying is that it's just this is just business?
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, finally. Sorry.
It's okay. No, it's fine.
Oh Lord, that was an ordeal.
She said,
"Fuck this shit, I'm out."
Oh,
well, maybe your
I didn't
internet was
have
saying
Discord. Oh no. My phone died mid
that. Oh,
conversation, so I had
okay.
to download Discord on my computer. This is a different computer, so it was all that good stuff.
Oh, well,
Then I
you
had to
did it
find my
fast.
password. Um,
Sounds good
um,
too, D.
I do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you sound
sound
good.
good. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, thank you. I think it, so people are really interesting. I think the commonality and the common denominator in all of this is that money is green no matter who spends it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Sony is I think they were testing the waters a little bit. I don't know um what their first game was that was on PC. I can't remember off the top of my head,
I want to say
but I know
Horizon. I want to say Horizon.
yeah.
Uh,
I
Horizon
think it
Zero
was
Dawn.
Horizon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that was a test because as far as their franchises look, I don't think Horizon is like their gargantuan heavy hitter. Not saying it's a bad game, but it's in the lineup, but it's not like, you know, their biggest franchise. And I think that was just testing the waters. Let's drop this one franchise and see how it goes. And it just kind
God
of
of
kept
War blew
going.
up on PC,
Then they dropped God of War blew up on PC. And I feel like I'm not a part of the community because I don't really have the means of really diving deep. But I feel like being a PC gamer can go one of two ways. You're either feasting or you're getting shafted. Um, and people are just like, no, PC, and PC, you have the mods, you can make it your own. But either you're getting, Spider-Man, God of War, or you're getting shitty Rockstar launchers. You're getting Arkham Knight ports that sucks. Like, it's very hot and cold. And I feel like
High
finally,
risk, high reward sort of thing.
yeah, because even with, you know, Red Dead Redemption for 2010 still hasn't come to PC, which to this day, I think at this point it's not, but I'm very surprised that it never did. Um, so I feel like they kind of dipped their toe into the PC a little bit. God of War ridiculously blew up, and now they're like, all right, y'all have proven y'all gonna buy our shit. Um, let's see what we can do. Let's hire the experts because they got I think they acquired. It starts with an N. I forgot what it's
Oh,
called, but there's
Nexus.
a company.
Nixus.
Yes,
Nixus. Yeah, Nixus.
right. So they made sure we got the people that know what they're doing to get this done. And let's be clear. Let me be absolutely clear. When y'all be on Twitter and on Facebook, wherever the hell you are, these loud people who are like, no, they need to protect their IP and you know, they're gonna keep it home. That's not the thought. Like the suits, the people on the board, when they're having investment calls, they're not sitting there like, how do we keep this to ourselves? In some regard, yes, as far as exclusivity, but they're all thinking of like, how can we maximize the profits? That's all it is at the end of the day. If the ROI of putting something on PC is high, they're gonna do it. If they're figuring it's only gonna cost them X amount of money, but they're gonna make that 4, 5, 10 times over by putting it on PC, they're putting that shit on PC. They don't care that you can use an Xbox controller with a game that came out on PlayStation. They don't care about that. All that petty, all that kind of shit, they don't care. Because at the end of the day, you loaded your Steam wallet, you loaded your Epic, whatever the hell, and they got their cut. So as far as sales and Xbox did it because they were struggling, it wasn't selling. As far as I know, God of War sold in 2018. The collectors, like it was a really, really big deal from what I remember. Uncharted all them sold. Like I don't see going to PC as an act of desperation. I feel like anything that Xbox has done that Sony wasn't doing was seen as a sign of weakness. And now that Sony is doing it, that's when said moves are now smart. It's not, I'm seeing it in more regards than just the PC. Um, Even the battery. I saw somebody on the timeline today where they were like, yeah, the battery sucks for the DualSense 5. Um they should do an optional battery external battery pack. But however long ago they were like, who the hell still has batteries? You need to do rechargeable only. And it was a growth moment for me because I could have been like, this you? But I didn't because that's growth. But it's just one of those things where people just like to have this allegiance that's blind to their preferred box. At the end of the day, like Rob said, like we've always been saying, money is money. I feel like that's a huge market that is untapped with Sony. I can't recall a lot of games that have gone from Sony to PC. So that's just, you know, a lot of money. Ubisoft learned the hard way when they were talking about PC gamers and threw out some random ass number talking about 90% of people that play PC games stole the game. And they faced backlash and had to come back hat in hand to the PC gamers and had to get in their good graces. I don't know why PC gamers get shafted so much. I don't get it, but I'm glad that they're actually able to play these games on their preferred platform. Of course, they can buy a PlayStation. Of course, they can buy an Xbox. But at the end of the day, if you prefer the PC, no paid multiplayer, no kind of subscription to be able to play with your friends, and crossplay seems to be getting more common than before. I think it's good, but I don't think it shows any kind of weakness or lack of money on either company or any company. Honestly, it's a whole different market of people um to get their coin. To be honest,
Yeah, no, I agree with
that's
that.
just my take on it.
No, I think that's a great take. Okay, Don, you can close us out on this topic. What do you think about about what everybody was saying, and just give us your perspective.
Well, I mean, there's always somebody at every single corporation that there's somebody their full-time job is to figure out how to make more money out of the company, right? That's either hiring or firing, or in this case, obviously bringing more products to more ways for gamers to play, right? And that's the harsh reality in regards to this stuff. And what's interesting is I don't really think releasing things on PC there's always this fear, I think early on when Xbox was doing it, that it would affect their console sales. People that are console gamers are console gamers. If you get where I'm going with that.
Yeah.
Even if they play cross-platform, they say they do buy a console, they buy a console for those reasons. So that product is still that product. PC doesn't take away from that. And the same thing when it comes to Sony. I don't think the PC takes away from what Sony has offered as a console. It's a plug and play unit. You buy a box, you plug it into the back of your TV, you sync your controllers, you log into your network, and next thing you know, everything is very streamlined. It's ready to go. In regards to that. So, I don't think it really affects that bottom line on the console side of things. And I think what Sony's seen in the long run, when someone else has already kind of took that first initial step, is they're just like, well, now we're just leaving money on the table in regards to that. And when you leave potential sales on the table, you are making your product a higher risk for you to produce, right? So by spreading it out, you're lowering the risk. You can take more chances with your products and what you're developing in regards to that. And, and to be honest with you, there's some PC gamers I've known for 20 plus years will never buy a console. They're just that person, right? Mm-hmm. But it's like what I just talked about. Do you like the platform more or do you like the game? Well, they're the type of person that likes the platform more. They like to, and that platform happens to be PC for them. But doesn't mean they hate the games they don't get, right? You give them the opportunity to get the games on the platform that they prefer, they'll play them. And that's, I think that's the realization that Sony is having in regards to that. So, and there's always going to be a loud group of people though that they had so much invested in keeping products off the PC, but the reality is they can be loud as they want. It doesn't affect their pocketbook, right? Sony's pocketbook, and far as that goes, and so they're going to continue to release it. And so the gates are open. I don't think they're going to go back to exclusivity to their hardware in any sort of way. I think this is here to stay, and the question is, where is it going to grow for Sony in regards to that? And then I think they'll take it to a slightly different direction. What that direction is, I don't know. Maybe they release their own version of what Steam is, right? On the PC platform, I can see them doing that, right? And so I can see a lot of things happening in regards to this. So it's just the start for Sony in regards to that. And if you think any franchise is safe from Sony's portfolio, my answer is no. I don't think any of them are safe to not be released on PC. I think they all eventually will be either closer to launch with their console or 6 months to a year down the road in regards to it's going to come on over in regards to that. So and it's just nothing but net positives in regards to that. So I mean, I don't see any negative to it in any sort of way. So
this is the thing that trips me out, right? Like everybody on the panel has been pretty much respectful and level-headed. What I don't get is why some of these loud voices out here resonate through to get to seem to be reasonable people and have people really think that having games going over to PC to have other people experience those titles is a bad thing. I argue with Xbox gamers all in 2016 and 2017 and 2018. Like, it's not that big of a deal. It's a good thing for Xbox to have these games on PC. No, it discredits the console. No, this is, and I'm like, how?
I don't think people take well to change on certain
that part is
things.
true.
Right. And it challenges their knowledge base, right? So when you're challenging their knowledge base and their understanding of gaming, it's almost somewhat personal. In regards to that, and it doesn't need to be that in regards to that. And you've seen it with the kind of action and reaction with individuals back and forth in regards to that. But now it's been around for a bit, right? Shout out to Xbox for kind of embracing that. I think the mindset has become more level-headed. People have had time to adjust the idea and the concept of it, right? And they're also starting to see the grander vision of things. And Xbox didn't release one console this generation; they released 2 at launch, right? So, I mean, if anything, it's reinforcing their ability, and it's the same sort of thing when people were concerned about streaming, right? They thought streaming would take over their beloved console. It's not. It's doing its own thing, right? And it's complementary. And so that's just kind of how all this stuff is. It's just all complementary to one another. I think people just need to give it a little time and see where it goes for them to kind of chill out for a bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt. I just look at it like, I mean, there are always going to be gamers that are console first.
Absolutely.
And there's always going to be gamers that's going to be, like you said, PC or mobile or whatever the case may be. But it's not like that change is going to just happen overnight. Like, it's just kind of crazy to me. But there was some fantastic points. Okay, guys, let's get to the last topic. Like I said, I was skipping the fourth one. Now, if people feel uncomfortable about this last topic, then by all means, you don't have to say anything. You say, I pass or whatever. But this has to be addressed. And I can't wait to hear what everybody has to say because I feel it's important. You know what I'm saying? Especially knowing that Juneteenth is just right around the corner. It's Sunday, right? So yeah. And look, okay. I love 343, man. Everybody knows I cap for 343, man. I feel like they get so much heat for the stupidest reasons, right? But I mean, on this one, this one stings, man. Now, you know what I'm saying? I mean, so if you didn't know what was going on, okay, so all right, so 343 was doing a logo for Halo Infinite, and it was in succession or in the spirit of Juneteenth. Well, the logo looked good. It had the like an African symbol with birds on it, but it had this name on it. And I the game, how's the name set? Bungo, whatever the case may be, whatever.
Bobo.
Thank you.
It's an endangered ape.
Right. So,
say what?
Okay, let me.
You have to let him finish on this.
Yeah, I gotta let him finish. So the name is from an endangered ape. All right, so gets out and Bonnie Ross comes out and she apologizes, which you do appreciate people coming out to apologize, because some people don't apologize, which, believe it or not. But she came out and apologized, said that this was something that they'll look into or whatever. But this is the thing here. And this is from my perspective. I'll kind of chime in and out, but I'll accept that it's a mistake. But there's channels that it had to go through in order for it to get greenlit. And there's nobody there so you mean to tell me that there's nobody there that didn't come out and think about saying like, oh yeah, African Americans, this name is from a chimpanzee, and maybe we need to just kind of talk to somebody, because we're a little bit too ignorant to understand what's really going on, because we probably don't even know what Juneteenth really means, right? Mm-hmm. And that's the problem that from my perspective. It could be a mistake, but it also could be where somebody was trying to be funny and trying to slide something in, and everybody was ignorant and just let it pass because they didn't think about it. They didn't put two and two together, which means that if that's the case, that you might have somebody that's on the staff that's racist, or you have somebody on the staff that's or everybody who get greenlit is just ignorant as hell and don't know anything about history, which comes to this point. This is why you should have as much inclusion into gaming as possible. So you can have maybe that brother or sister or indigenous person or whatever that can say, yo, that ain't gonna fly. That thing, that might be a little bit bad for, if might disrespect Indian people. That might disrespect Native American people. That might disrespect Asian people. That might disrespect, I know I can't say all those letters, but the homosexual community, or transgender community. That they have to have more people inside of something if you're going to try to come out and do this, because Walmart did the same damn thing and that shit was cringe as well. So let me Walmart shit was just as bad.
What was the Walmart stuff?
Oh, it was basically like it was a Juneteenth ice cream that was red velvet and cheesecake flavored, and then the packaging was like brown all around with like red, green, and I think dandelion color, African American colors, and also have the high fives up when the hands were like brown, like kind of like a brown color as well. So the
Black
packaging.
people don't high five no more. That's white folk. White folk do the high fiving now. My wife always wants to high five me. I'm like, I don't do that no more, baby. Anyway,
she give you a high five and say good game. Is that what she does?
Give it a high five. Give me a
high five when they run back. They give high five when they run back down the basketball.
Just give me some dab. Just give me some dab.
They do that.
But anyway,
just say no to dabs, man.
But also I do need to address this, and sober. I was definitely gonna bring it up. Was that the people within 343 was mentioning that there was code that was made from Bungie that
what?
Hold on, let it go. That was a code that was made from Bungie talking about the Halo system, and they called it Gorilla or something like that. But it's an eternal tool. So it was something like it's supposed to represent, I guess it's a badass a badass thing or whatever, not basically trying to make it out to be as racist or anything.
Well, let me clarify on that. So
don't blame it on Bungie. Bungie ain't had nothing to do with that.
No, Bungie did make the tool. So
well, let's clarify. So they have a variety of tools that are named after animals in regards to that. Yeah. And apparently when there was an error, it defaults to the name on that tool, and that's why it populated. That was the excuse. I'm not saying that's what happened or didn't happen.
Yeah.
In regards to that, but that is essentially what some people were saying that either worked with Bungie or 343, or claiming that most likely was the scenario in this particular case. In regards to that, so
they should have had a checker though, like K-Maker said.
That's what I'm saying. Like you got that's the biggest problem within this industry, in my point, because that's what it all boils down to. If you had something, if you were, listen, I love my politics. I'm a Democrat. I'm proud to say I am. I don't care what affiliation that you are. it is what it is. I love everybody, right? But even when I was seeing, like, during the George Floyd situation, and Nancy Pelosi and all the rest of them came out there in the dashikis in the black African garb, I'm like, look, y'all doing too much. I know y'all trying to rep. I know y'all trying to say y'all down for us, but you can't. Come on, no. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to do that. So that's what, when you try too hard, it looks silly, and then when you don't apply apply enough people to look over these things, because there are people out there that are scandalous and slanderous, and even for the most part, that I would say that probably 98% of the people that works at 343 aren't like that. But if that 1% can slide some shit like that through, that makes all of 343 looks bad. And that
Did they cancel it, K-Mega?
That part I do not know. I know that they took it down, but I don't know if they brought it back up. But I knew they took the name down. But I haven't checked, so I need to go check. Maybe Yobi might say something. Matter of fact, speaking of Yobi, let me read the super chat, and then I'm going to go to the first person in here. Let's go to let's go to Blades first, because he was the guest. He first came on here. But before I get to you, let me read the super chat. Mistake my ass. It goes too many channels before. Who gave the okay for it? Who have the sign off for it? I don't believe it.
Exactly.
If people out here who's trying to defend this BS, and that's not the way, they still look at us like a joke. So I mean, I can't be mad at that, because that's exactly how a lot of people feel. And you know what I'm saying? And I want to give people the benefit of doubt, because I always try to see the good in everybody. But I even say to myself on this one, look, how many channels did this go through, and why you don't have anybody that, if you're going to start talking about doing something with the Black community, why you don't have somebody that understands the Black community? You see what I'm saying? That could represent it, that can look at that and say, having that monkey right there just ain't going to fly, Jack. So I don't know. Let me. What is your whole perspective on this, Blades? Do you think that this is just a simple mistake, or do you think that there was some scandalous bullshit going on? What do you think about this whole situation?
I think most definitely it had to go through multiple channels in order for this to be shown worldwide. Do I think it's a simple mistake? I do think it's a mistake, and yes, it was also crossing the line. I think it's both. So what people have to realize is that we can represent what we believe in. It's just you have to be careful of what you label certain products or label certain things, because if you're not labeling them or identifying them correctly, things will get very much misconstrued. Things would get very confusing, and some might take offense. Like I even took offense to it, even though that you got 343 corrected the mistake. It was still very offensive, and everyone knows how long, how hard, and how long have people of color has come along throughout the years. So I just think that people should just be careful of how they label certain things and how things are represented. Take that into consideration so people won't be offended by these things. Because I don't, the same thing with the Walmart ice cream. It's the same thing with those. It's the freedom for me napkins at the dollar store.
Shit.
Oh my God. Y'all know that.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't even
Yes.
know that. Oh, hell
Oh, y'all didn't
no.
know?
No,
Okay.
I didn't
It
know
was,
about that.
it's the freedom for me. It's the freedom for me on a piece of goddamn napkins. Why would you put that on napkins where I wipe my mouth after I eat my baked beans and my potato salad?
Oh, shit.
Now, come on now.
That was embarrassing as hell. I'm
It
sorry.
was very, very disrespectful and completely unacceptable. And yes, I do believe that there's some type of consequences that should be had within that staff member or multiple staff members within 343, because that's completely unacceptable. So, but that's my take on it. I have to go, unfortunately,
All
but
right.
I
That's
really
fine.
do appreciate everybody in here in the conversations. I appreciate you, K Mega. Thank you so much for having me on your show. And I will see you all later. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. Hopefully, this won't be the last time that you'll come on to the show, man. We really do appreciate your input. You killed it, man. So I really do appreciate it.
Thank you. You guys have a great night, and hopefully I'll see you this Sunday too.
Yeah, come on in for fight night. It'll be great. It'll be great.
Oh, yeah. Take care, man.
Take care.
Thank you so much, and happy Father's Day, everybody.
Yeah, it's happy Father's
Yeah,
Day.
that's why my kids are gone. I'm good.
Yeah, I know, right? I know, right? Anyway,
Grown and gone.
grown and gone. All right, and so I see somebody say something about when KFC did the BLM fist as a chicken wing. Look, I don't know if that was real. That could have been doctored because I've seen people going in an uproar over a Coke can, over a Coca-Cola can that was basically saying that it was negative towards white people, right? And that shit was fake. So I don't know if the chicken wing was real or not. But the napkins, that's my first time hearing about the napkins.
That's true.
That shit wild. So sometimes you gotta really do the research. So I seen the chicken wing too, but I don't know if that's real because I just can't see being somebody that's stupid. But you know what? Look, I mean, look what 343 just did. So Lord have mercy,
These companies are real stupid.
Right.
Let me go. I got to get my Z's in the middle.
Do you want to touch on this, Sir X-Men, before you go? What
do you
think
just
about
a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it was a mistake, but I just think it was a non-monitored mistake.
Okay.
It's kind of like, I hate to say this, it's weird. They don't have control over their development department. So they don't pay attention to that stuff. If they had more control over their development, this means all game studios, they would have been able to nip this in the bud before it got to where it got. You know, all this comes down to controlling the people that are making these things for you. And this time, that thing actually backfired because you don't have anybody monitoring it or really controlling these situations that you keep finding yourself getting put into. You know, maybe somebody did it on accident. Maybe somebody did it on purpose. We will never know. But it needs to get resolved, and they need better control over what's going on from their developers. And that's a fact. My thing is, would anybody ever really had noticed this if it wasn't coming out on Juneteenth? If it had came out any other time of the year, would anybody else had noticed it?
You know what? That's a good point. Maybe not. But you know, I don't think 343 would have been addressing anything like that. Unless they were trying to do that to try to show
There's some drama.
Yeah. So I not drama, but just trying to show inclusion. You know what I mean? So it would be nice if they would just throw random things like that for all different types of people. All throughout the year. But these things tend to happen, like people just throw Christmas stuff during Christmas time. So it is what it is.
Yeah, you see DLC for games at Christmas all the time, but I've never known them to show a Juneteenth thing in any game.
This is first because it's now officially a holiday. So this is the first. I believe this is the first year that Juneteenth is actually considered an holiday.
Yeah, because they debated it last year. It happened or whatever, and
I saw the whole thing.
Right. Yeah. So,
I still got to work it.
They would. I would take off. I would take off. Martin Luther King and Juneteenth. I take off.
I think we get Martin Luther King Day off if we want to take it off.
They were like, no, you said shit. I'm not working. I said no, nope. I ain't working that. Or it's Juneteenth. I said, you gotta use your PTO. Fine, but I ain't working. So anyway, whatever.
All right, everybody. You know my outros, K-Mega. I'm gonna bounce. I got to get up at 4 a.m. So I'll catch you guys.
Yeah, we're almost done. We're almost out of here. I just want to hear everybody else's point of view before we get out of here.
I'm glad my lady friends came to the show today. It was awesome having y'all here.
It was awesome. It is good to have the ladies come in and grace us, man. It was
the Don is a great woman, man. I'm glad he came here too.
Yes, she's great too. You hear that, Don? Take shots.
Man, it's weird that he looks at me like that.
I know that is a little bit.
I must be young. I must be young in his eyes.
It's that chili you got, man. It just does it for me, bro.
Oh my God.
But now everybody have a good time and enjoy the rest of the show, man. I'll catch everybody later.
So let's go to Too Big. Let's go to Too Big on this one. What is your thoughts about this whole situation, man? I mean, do you think that this is a mistake? Do you think that there's some shenanigans going on? A little bit of both. Where are you at on this whole situation?
Looking into it, I mean, I hope and pray that this was a mistake. I mean, I hope and pray there wasn't anything malicious in the background, but I see it from the outside looking in as a mistake. And it's like you said, it still had to go through. It supposedly is supposed to go through, checks and balances to make sure everything goes right. Unfortunately, that error code, like Don was saying, came out on around this time during Juneteenth. But I mean, it's a tough one for me. I don't know really how to answer this question.
To clarify, it's the error code not only but June 13th, but the particular logo it's associated with too is kind of the issue. So
yeah, it's a tough one for me to answer. I mean, I'm just gonna have to pass on this.
You're gonna have to pass on, yeah.
I'm gonna have to.
I got you. It is tough. I mean, you know what I'm saying. I want to have everybody have their voice, but like I said, if it gets to where they don't, they feel uncomfortable about it or whatever, there's no problem with that. So, but for the people I know that won't be uncomfortable, let me go to Robs. What do you think that this is? What you think this was some shenanigans, some low key bullshit, or do you think that this was a natural mistake and then just a lot of people that was ignorant, that's too young, didn't know anything about Juneteenth?
Is the fact that these companies do not pay attention to shit, and like you said before, these are channels they got to go through, and if you don't have anybody that's is exclusive, if you don't have an exclusive work environment, there's somebody to catch that shit, then it's gonna run out there, and it ain't got to do with just Juneteenth. Like when it comes to a particular stereotype, especially with the gorilla monkey for black people, we gonna catch that shit and we gonna cause an uproar.
Facts.
It really don't matter what day it is, what month it is and stuff. Because like these companies in general need to have some exclusive. I can't talk either. That country kicking in.
Yeah, let you be
They can't rubbing off on me.
Welcome, let you be country girl in Illinois. Let's go,
man.
Inclusion. That's what I got you.
Inclusivity, but
yeah,
like you gotta have that. You gotta have some diversity in the workspace for people to catch that, and that's not just with 343. That's with all these companies. You got the people are taking our slang and our words from from black people and the black LGBTQ, taking our words and don't know what the hell they saying and just mixing them up like like you said with the Dollar Tree. I don't know, was it Dollar Tree or Target with the napkins
thing?
No,
it wasn't no Target now.
No, I wouldn't. She said, "Don't talk bad about Target."
Not
Target.
It was the dollar store or the Dollar Tree. It was one of the
one of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you see that, like they're like, oh, it's the freedom for me, and like I think there was something that came out today. I think it was some news site. They was like, oh, it's the something for me. Oh, it's giving. I'm like, y'all don't even know what the fuck y'all talking about.
It's so annoying.
It's getting on my nerves. It's like y'all not even using
is it patronizing? Is that what is a good description of it?
Yes, it's like when with white and non-black people use slang like, oh girl, slay, you doing it, yeah. I'm like, you don't even know what you're talking about. Woo, Chile, like, dude, like, what are you saying? Like, if you're going to use the slang, you lose it right.
But not even just that. I don't know about. I can guess what your experience is, Rob, because we're very similar. But what pisses me off is where it's giving, it's the whatever for me. But if I
Mhm.
were to go to work or be around, mixed diverse company, I might get looked at a certain way.
Yeah.
Like I might be deemed unprofessional. I might be deemed as, or there might be preconceived notions about, where I grew up, how I
Mhm.
grew up because I speak that way. But then if I were to, use that jargon and that slang, but then companies are like, I just saw Disney use it the other day, something that they were promoting on Twitter, and it was like it's giving something. I was like, That's not even how you." It's just I don't know. It's always like a cycle. I feel like I think it's happening faster now.
Mhm.
Whereas remember, like this sound weird. I feel like the one example that there is for me is like Nelly's Hot in Here that came out in 2002. I
Mhm.
remember when that song came out. Oh, it's so sexual. Oh, it's so this. And now, how many times have you heard that song being used in a commercial?
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Hot in
Oh yeah.
Here has been, that song is 20 years old. And when
Look
it
at
first
Hot
came out,
Girls Summer. Like when
oh
Megan
my
came out with
gosh.
Hot Girls, not even the song. It was just a phrase, and like it was in everything before she
Yeah.
even copyright the phrase. It and made the song. It was in
Oh.
everything.
Hmm.
Like it's a hot girl summer. Like doing Gap commercials and shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
It
Like, what are you doing?
I feel like, not to like hijack your point, but it just resonates with me because it's so annoying, and it's always a face palm moment. There's always some kind of phrase that, or some kind of something. People joke about it with Fashion Nova, that kind of thing for themselves, but there's always something that is started by Black people, specifically Black women, if I'm being
Mhm.
100% honest with you, that just gets co-opted, and then it becomes mainstream, whether it is appropriate or otherwise. One of my biggest offenders is in somebody's bag. So my cousin was like, "Oh, when you're in your bag, it means you do something well." I'm like, that yes, but I don't think you know how that started, sir.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when you secure the bag, and I'm trying to explain, I was like, you know what? I'm yep, he's a good player. Yep, in his bag. Like I can't even do it anymore.
I think period really got on my. It's actually still gets on my nerves because like why people using period so much? I'm like period poo. I'm like when y'all been using period so much?
The one for me is, because this is because I worked with a lot of older white gentlemen, and the first
Mm,
thing was, you can't touch that, William, and hey, Will I am, and hey, because my first name is William, my middle name is Kareem, right? So,
mm.
so they never call me by Kareem; they always call me William or whatever. So,
It's probably
um,
because they can't pronounce it.
well, no, they probably because
No, too Muslim.
it's too Muslim for them to say.
Oh, is that what it is?
Oh yeah, they told me
Hmm.
that. They said, no, that's too. Well, they don't say it that way. They say it. They say the racial term of why they won't call me by Kareem, so they call me William or Bill. That whatever.
Ew.
Yeah, yeah, because
Okay.
William Bill has a. I don't know. I don't know what the. I need to read that and understand it. But I've been called that quite a few times. But William and Bill's supposed to go hand in hand or whatever. I don't know.
They
But
do.
yeah, yeah,
Which is
yeah.
so
I know it's true. I
dumb.
just haven't really ever looked it up and try to find out the reason of why Bill it goes with William. Um, but yeah, like or they'll come out and do, like I said, the high five. I'm like, bro, I don't even do that anymore. What's going on here? I see it in all basketball games. I said, we're not playing sports. We're pouring mud,
We're
man.
not
You know what I'm
playing
saying? We're not playing sports, bro. We're pouring mud. I'm not doing a high five. You know what I'm saying? Just shake my hand, give me dap. You know what I'm saying? Just whatever. But I get it. You know what I'm saying? Look, and see, this is the thing, right? Like some people mean well by trying to do that because they want to. Because they they want to socialize themselves with a culture that they're not very familiar with, and I know that, and it comes off as cringe or whatever. I get it, but but getting back to the point, because we got to wrap up the show. But I do think that this is kind of part of the problem of what you guys are saying right here, right? Like this is part of the ignorance aspect of it, because these people are probably most likely that in that room. Because I seen they showed a picture. I've seen like tons of pictures being posted these last couple of days of seeing the 343 staff, right? And it is predominantly white. I get it, right? And they're young, and so pretty much it looks like a lot of those people might not know anything about Juneteenth, right? And some may have looked it up and things like that, but it's just it just kind of, because even if me as a person, which I have been that way as well, I can't be showing no Max's stuff. Oh shit, I gotta get this out of here. Sorry, Max, can't show your stuff, brother. Respect your stuff. I can't be showing your stuff, man. Shout out to Maximilian though. I really do enjoy his videos.
That's my guy.
That's my guy. I like Maximilian. But like even when there was people that try to throw the reverse, I'm like, nah, man, come on, bro. Because I've been raised a different way. Like, you know what? If you're gonna try to be about the inclusion, you got to do it for everybody. And you know what I'm saying. And there's been times I've been called Uncle Tom without me trying to defend everybody. And there's been times that I've been sitting there and I've, looked at this and been this way and been called the N-word and been called, all these other words and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? I've been in plenty fights over it because, there's people that just want to talk crazy, whatever. But I just feel that if you got people that at least have some damn common sense of understanding, look, go through, let's find out what this means, what we can put in here, what we can't put in here, whatever. But it is very hard to believe that anything that's associated with a monkey and black people, even with young people, even with young white people, they're like, look, that shit just don't fly. And that's what I'm just saying. Like, it's almost like you can't be that blatant, or you got to be that damn ignorant. And to me, I don't know, man. I'm gonna try to give the benefit of the doubt and say that they're ignorant as hell. But there's people out there that may try to slide that in, that had foul intentions, and those people need to be taken care of and dealt with eternally. No doubt about it. They don't need to be public, but it just needs to be dealt with. And hopefully that it got done. Y'all got anything else that y'all got to say before I go to Don, get his last point, and then we get out of here?
I only kind of halfway went, but
okay, go ahead. Well, go ahead.
I don't think this was done with malicious intent.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is because if it was, they wouldn't have reversed it. I feel like they would have stood 10 toes. Like, fuck it, that's what it is. However, that doesn't negate the ignorance, and that does not negate the impact. Right? So, for some reason, people have a misconception that if something is done to hurt somebody else, saying that wasn't my intention negates all negative feelings, and that's not the case. Once you put it out there, people's feelings are going to be their feelings. Malicious or not, people will be offended, some people will ignore it, but you cannot unring a bell. Some people might look at them sideways, and some might be like, it's no big deal. Whatever feeling is present is what is valid. Now, at the same time, even though I don't think it was done with malicious intent, I still think their ignorance is still their responsibility as a public company. What I mean by that is, yes, you may not have meant to offend, but you still did not make it a goal to not offend. And that's where the inclusivity comes in. That's where the diversity comes in. That's where the PR, filters come in to say, all right, this is how it looks to us. We all think it's okay. Let's do another run through, another filter of some kind, just to make sure we've covered all of our bases. And when it comes to something that is a holiday of this type, especially given the severity and the gravity of the holiday as a whole, even though it is a celebration, the reason for the celebration is where that weight comes in.
Right.
There's no way everybody in the room could have no connection to it and still release it for another group, not putting it through that filter of other people, of other groups, whatever it is. So I think this could, I mean, it could hurt them socially on a larger scale, or it could blow over once July 1st comes. Who knows? But I still think no matter what happens, whether they come through unscathed or not, there needs to be, for the sake of them going forward, they need to do something as far as like, all right, y'all, either they're gonna get their ass handed to them or they're gonna be unscathed. Look, we can't have this happen again. We can't lose the trust of our fan base. We have to be better than this. Um, Something, because otherwise no lessons are learned and mistakes are repeated. The same way with the Starbucks incident, however many years ago, and Starbucks was like, look, we're shutting all this shit down for like 2 days. Y'all got to get y'all shit somewhere else because we got to get ourselves together. And people are like, oh, yeah, yeah, okay, that's cool. But then when the days came, it was like, oh shit, they actually shut down. And no Starbucks in the country was open because they took that time to do their training, whatever the hell, about, social, racial situation. I'm not saying Microsoft should do that. I'm not saying 343 should do that. However, they really need to kind of figure out what they're doing as far as having those people in the room, and making sure that this kind of thing doesn't happen again. So I think they were just really ignorant, but they also never thought like, hey, we have nothing to do with this holiday as it, is not, we're not in the group that it's toward. We should have done better to have a checks and balances in place before just releasing this and covering all our bases. We'll see how well that turns out going forward, but that's kind of my thought on it.
Okay. Now, Abacab is saying that he feels that Bonnie Ross should lose her job. Um, now, and he also says that people are saying that it was created by Bungie because they gave those tools to 343. But that's still no excuse. Bonnie should go, and I would have no problem with Phil getting fired for this too. Yeah, I listen. I don't see how. This
What's
is how I
gained
look.
with that?
Yeah,
That's my question.
what do you gain with firing Bonnie or Phil over something that now reprimand? Absolutely. Um, I mean Phil hired Bonnie and them to watch over. So yeah, Phil should be in Bonnie's ass about it. There's no doubt about it. I feel I'm with Curie on that one. I feel that's a little bit too harsh. I feel that the person who did it, um, definitely should be let go, should be fired.
Well, it depends on the intent, right?
Right. Now, if it's
Right.
an
So,
yeah,
so if the intent is to be, well, a racist asshole, then yeah, then
right,
I don't know if you can really save that person, right? Like, to be honest with you, but
right, yeah,
if it's an honest mistake, then we're not going to be able to come together as these things that divide us if we don't leave a room of forgiveness. And I'm not saying that people should have to put up with that sort of derogatory terms when associated with Black America or just Black all across the world, right? But there has to be a level head with these sort of things in order for us to get better as a people, because we're both in it. It's not just one side or the other. It's this weird cultural divide that we have, that we find ourselves in this place over and over and over again, and it's a learning process. It doesn't happen overnight. That's the reason why we still have racial tensions today. It sucks, as far as all that stuff is concerned.
no, you're 100% right. I just think that I'm just looking at it. I'm just trying to put it all in perspective because I'm looking at Abacab of what he's trying to say, and I'm not trying to demean his thought process on it. I just think that the penalty is too harsh, especially if we find out that and I really think that we were going to find out anything else after this, but that it was, but if there's back channels and there's rumors of that it was a mistake, that somebody just threw it out there, was just being careless, and they did it, then they should be reprimanded, but they shouldn't be fired. They shouldn't be. Go ahead, say it again. Go ahead. What you say?
Sorry, that also would take an investigation, and that's what I mean. Like,
right.
It's not going to be overnight, and it's also, I don't think, going to be something where they're going to announce, hey, so it was John Smith and we fired his ass. They may put out a PR speak. We at so and so strive to, y'all know the talk.
Yeah, know the logo. Yeah,
we strive for da 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 da. It's never our intention, all that kind of shit. But they'd have to do an investigation to be like, yo, this person actually is a dick and they did that shit on purpose. They can then, of course, come out and be like, we don't tolerate that shit here. Blah, 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 which is all well and good. It's still going to leave a bad taste in people's mouths. And it already has, I feel like. And again, people's feelings are valid. But as far as, who needs to be fired, there has to be action taken. I don't know if they're going to publicly do it. But that's why I was just saying, what is gained from getting rid of Bonnie? Bonnie could be demoted, she could be out the light, but it's like, you didn't see this, you gotta go. It's I don't know. They'll probably be, especially with big higher ups, they don't unfortunately fire that either because Bobby Kotick's ass is still around. And I'm sure Blizzard and Activision have done little stupid things, and Blizzard's still there, or he's still there. But it's just like, I don't know. I hope something is done, and they'll probably have to go. They'll probably introduce a training of inclusivity. They'll probably have seminars or some shit that they have to go through, as most corporate companies do. You gotta do some kind of training module or something.
Well, see, and that's where the line for me, that you got to do more than just a seminar and then giving the speech of like, you got to start bringing more people in that would know the substance that you want to try to put out there, regardless of whatever, if it's Pride Week or if it's, I'm saying, like Juneteenth, or if it's Black History Month or Latino History Month, or I'm saying, or Columbus Day, whatever the hell it is, I'm saying, you got to have the people in there to know what the hell they're doing and not let it slide like that. Now, again, where I would be on Abacab's side with this, if this happens again, then yeah,
correct.
Then Bonnie has to go, because obviously there's you got your priority. She must have her priorities going somewhere else that she's not caring enough about that aspect. And to me, that's not fair to the employees that are there, that don't want to keep being ridiculed or looked at as racist because they're white, and and really the fact is that they're just ignorant, didn't know anything about Juneteenth, or the people that was behind it, it was just a mistake or whatever. That right there, what I'm saying, and unfortunately, heads usually rolls if that type of shit happens again. But like we both are saying, this is an internal situation. We ain't gonna know nothing else about it. They're gonna do that, but they gotta fix that. They gotta fix, just like they're fixing that shit with Activision. They got to do this, and just like what they did with Playground, well, not Playground, but Undead Labs, with all the situations that was going on there. They got to make sure that they get that shit all right everywhere. So I don't know, man. Don, was that all that you wanted to say on that?
I don't know. It's a difficult one to navigate, given my circumstances. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but well, I guess there's a couple things I can comment on. We're talking about the ignorance of why would anyone ever not think of that. I remember, matter of fact, K-Mega was there. I was in an Xbox Live party, and let's just say I was the minority in the party, ironically, right? Amongst some folks, and they were referencing the whole ape thing. And I had no idea. This is like 2 or 3 years ago. I had no idea that was ever a derogatory term, towards blacks. I had zero idea. But that experience never would have happened unless I was hanging out with friends, treating people as, equals, focusing on the things that we have more in common with versus the things we don't have in common. And through that, I learned the things, naturally, right? Through what we don't have in common and what, we all deal with on every single front. And so by having a genuine conversation about that and having multiple people, break it down for me, they knew where I was coming from. They knew that I wanted to understand. I wanted to know what was going on, and then be like, cool, I've never used that term ever. I'm grateful that's not in my past, right? But the same token, now that I know. And so if I have somebody I know that speaks out of turn and be like, no, shut up. You know what I mean? This is not the place or time or the right thing to say. And a lot of this stuff is done out of arrogance. Now, there are people with malicious intent. I'm not naive to that in regards to that. And I think what I said earlier, when it comes down to the intent, if the intent was malicious, then, I say throw the book at the person, right? But if it's not intentional, if it was a genuine, everything they said, it was a tool that was named the thing, not even anything associated with June 13th, because the tool was developed way before then. It was not even a thought process and this sort of thing. And in the error, and that's the thing with bugs, there are people that test and review bugs, but the same token, sometimes bugs just show up when they hit the market, right? Sometimes those bugs don't show up internally, right? So let's give them the benefit of the doubt. That's what happened. The learning experience, when you reflect back on it, is okay. Maybe we shouldn't have tools that have any sort of racial tie to them. Maybe we shouldn't have anything like that, so it doesn't come up in code. Mistakes like this don't oversee it or don't happen, right? And that goes for any sort of derogatory term, whatever it could be, right? And I think what it comes down to, the other thing is, I think these companies need to stop hitching their wagon to these sort of things. It doesn't mean you can't have a banner that represents, blacks worldwide, right? But why do you have to wait till June 13th to release that? Why couldn't that have been there at launch? Why couldn't that have been there in the review process? Why do you have to hit your wagon and use it as a marketing tool to show you how down you are, right? Mm-hmm. That's what I was asking you, if this is, do you find it antagonizing? Because that's what it kind of seems like to me, right? In majority of my friends that fall into that category, they feel like, oh, now you're just trying to make money off me, right? You're not
pandering.
You're pandering.
Yeah, it's just totally pandering. Yeah,
Exactly.
And and people can talk about having diversity in the workplace, and I don't think there's anything wrong with people diverse nature working in the workplace at all, right? But I don't think that solves it, right? It comes with the attitude. You come with hitching your wagon to the sort of thing. Because here's the thing. They were in the rush to get it on the June 13th, right? Do you think maybe it got rushed through the review process because of that? And that's why it got slipped through?
Could have been.
You know what I mean? And that's where you run into these other things where people want to hitch their wagon and all these different, and it's not just Microsoft. A lot of companies do this sort of thing, right? Your job is just to sell a product, and if you want to be inclusive, which I think is awesome, I don't think you should be a person that preaches it. I think you should be one that does it. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Those actions speak a lot louder than the words, and that's what I want to see from companies, right? Yeah, you do kind of, from a Microsoft standpoint, if you want to hire diverse talent, you have to let people know that, hey, you can apply here, right? Because sometimes people won't even try. But outside of that, do your thing and don't be preaching about it. Just do your thing, and stop hitching your wagons to these sort of events like this sort of thing, because you're putting yourself into a corner where you're rushing something, you're not thinking things through. and you're putting yourself in a very, very bad position. And it hurts for me to see this from 343 because me and Mega both kind of cap for 343 at times. And think about all the things they have done as far as the characters in Halo universe, right? It's been a very mixed group, and they never been in a situation where they never preached it, right? They just did it. Locke was a character. So what? Like, he's a character.
Tanaka,
he's somebody you can play. Sergeant Johnson, he is a character. You can play, right? Like, they thrown these characters and put them out there, and I want them to continue to do that sort of thing. But now all that work that they have done gets overshadowed by this little incident, right? And it sticks because it doesn't just happen. Okay, we talked about it for a week and then it goes away. There's always going to be somebody who goes, remember when they did that shit like 2 years ago? They'll be in an Xbox Live party. I'm like, yeah, I remember when they did that shit, and they don't know all the ins and outs. They don't maybe have the things to give them the benefit of the doubt or whatever it may be. All they know is it was a bad move, and regardless of the intent. And so it just sucks. It sucks to see in regards to that. And I think really if you want these sort of ignorant things not to happen, I think we can't be relying on these companies. We have to rely on each other to bridge those cultural gaps that we have with one another. I don't think that's a bad thing in general. And I think more good can happen from that, from the relying on companies or government to do it for ourselves. I think when we rely on those one-on-one relationships with one another, we get better. And when some people are just ignorant and arrogant, right? Like they don't have any experience with somebody that has a different background like that, and so sometimes it shows, and sometimes you got to start with what you have in common, and then you work to those other things where it's a little bit different, so they have an understanding. I've always kind of joked around, you can find more in common with somebody with a game that they have than their skin color. I mean, that's just the harsh reality. And if you start from that point, then you can have understanding on the things where we differ. So
I'm reading this comment right here, and I totally agree. As long as they give back to the Black community, make as much as you want off of the holiday, and bring back Locks. You know what I'm saying? We'll be good. You know what I'm saying? You bring my boy Locke, T-Bone Cyrus back, we good. We good. No. Jokes aside, I do think that it's it's well said, Don. I think, with everybody here that says Rob's, you know what I'm saying, D, you know what I'm saying, just well said. Like I think we we get it, but it's tiring, you know what I'm saying? It's 2022. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, when can we get over this shit? Like, get over it. You know what I'm saying? Like, when can we finally have some peace of mind to just not have to worry about somebody even taking it there, or even us as African Americans or people of color have to be worried about somebody going to degrade us because of our skin color or because of our sexual orientation or whatever the fuck it may be. Like, that shit is old. Like, damn, how could you have that much bitterness in your heart, but then still claim to be a person that's righteous or a person of God or any of that type of shit? It just makes no sense to me. But that's a whole different another can of worms. But really appreciate it. Fantastic podcast. Really enjoyed everybody's perspective. Man, you know what I'm saying? Didn't get the chance to talk too much, Mr. Biggs, Two Biggs, you know what I'm saying? But man, hopefully, man, next time you could come onto the show on time and man, you could just go at it and then we could have a damn good time, man. So you know what I'm saying? You're in here now, so anytime that you want to come, you got time to be free and want to come by GRG, you're always welcome, man. So where can they find you at, brother?
You guys can find me on Twitter at CNeebs808 or Too Big. You can find me on also on Talkstar Podcast on YouTube, and most times you'll find me lurking within everybody's chats over here in GRG or Ham Solo's side of Behind Them Sticks, and I'm just kind of just hanging around. Or you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv. Well,
No doubt, no doubt.
yeah, you can find me on that place. Same name, everything's the same. And oh yeah, K-Mega, just
yes, sir.
respectfully, I'm gonna find you in the Rocker.
Okay. Yeah. Come and bring it. I saw when you gave me that comment. You come in there. You know you might catch that fade. I'm just saying. You saw what I did to that. You know what I'm saying? Because I might have the burn on me. I might have some nunchucks. I might have some other ingredients to saute your ass with. But no, I'll be looking forward to it, man. I really do enjoy that game, man. I did not expect that I would be enjoying a battle royale game, but of course, you make it a fighting game. And things change. So, all right. Robs, thank you so much for stopping by again. I knew that when we started talking about them RPGs, I guess that was the bat signal. You said, you got to let me in here. So,
let me in.
well, as always, you are always welcome. You're part. You know what I'm saying? You're part of that. A part of this second wave of the ladies of GRG, and you know what I'm saying. So when you got some free time, you are always welcome to come through here, and especially school us on some RPG some JRPG action, because I think I'm pretty solid with the Western RPGs, but you know there's still some JRPGs that I could dust off and learn a little bit of some knowledge. So
well, Persona coming out in October. You got time.
Oh yeah, no. I'm gonna knock all them Persona. I beat Persona 3, but I have not beat Persona 4 or Persona 5. So I need to do, and then also Soul Hackers 2 is dropping in August. I'm copping that. I'm gonna show support. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be showing them game clips. So you know what I'm saying? So I'll make you proud, I promise. But where can they find you at, Robs?
They can find me on Xbox and PlayStation, Rob the Geek, and on Twitter, Sherlock2G.
Sherlock2. All right. And man, we're gonna go to Don. Don, where what's going on with you, brother? Where they gonna find you at? Where can they find you at? And maybe some turtles.
The best thing we're gonna do a turtles in with 15-20 minutes after the podcast. You think?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, give it a little time so you can get your drink all poured and everything ready before we go. But yeah, the best thing to do, I'm going to be streaming Ninja Turtles. What is it? TMT Revenge, Shredder's Revenge, or something. Yeah. So me and Mega, we've done a couple beat 'em ups now, and this one looks fun. There's obviously 6 players, so if there's a couple people who want to join, definitely hit us up on Xbox Live. But that being said, the best thing to do is follow me on Twitter, which is the Don_KTR. Everything I'm associated with my YouTube channels, which are 2 of them. One's live streaming, one's is kind of a talking head content sort of channel. And then I have my Twitch channel associated there, merch store, all that sort of stuff in regards to that. So if you're curious of what I'm doing, that's the best hub to follow me everywhere. And we're gonna be playing some games. We're not just talking about them; we're gonna play them. So
yeah, no doubt. Even though I'm on the last level on Turtles, because Bot was talking some mad shit talking about because I didn't get a chance to play it yet, and because I was playing Naraka, and he was like, "Hey, I'm already. You haven't played? He said, I'm already on level 3 or something like that. Like, oh, you ever did that? You know how Bot, they're talking that shit. So I was like,
no, it's because he was using the Konami code before he started.
Yeah, and so he was showing this gameplay, and I was like, okay. And so while we was doing the whole podcast, man, I was playing the game, and so I was like, hey, man, and I told him, I said, I'm at the zoo, and he got quiet, and he said, at the zoo. And he said, what's going on? I said, man, I'm at the zoo. He said, oh, I haven't got that far yet. I said, oh, you haven't got past that, huh? And then everybody started laughing. So I was giving a hard time. So I went ahead and kept playing it until I'm almost at the end. So I can kind of help you out a little bit. Still some things I don't know though.
Let's start fresh. Might as well. Fun.
Yeah. We'll start fresh and just get through it. So anyway, Soren X, appreciate you still sticking around, man. Very, very much appreciated. He says, great show, y'all. God bless. You too, brother. Really do appreciate it. All right. D, You thought I forgot you, didn't you? I did not. I was saving the
You
best for
almost
last.
did.
No, I didn't. I was saving the best for last. Best for last.
Mhm.
Best for last.
Indeed.
Best for last. You know what I'm saying?
In bird culture, this is considered a dick move.
Woo! Anyway, where can they find you at?
I am on Twitter mostly at Gingy's mom. I am on Xbox Kirby Titan, but not a lot. You'll find me faster on Twitter. Playing pretty much most of the new Game Pass releases. Playing these upgraded things. I've been on Assassin's Creed, The Quarry. I'm excited about it, but so I might stream that. I'm on Twitch, D Marie B. But yeah, that's me. I'll be chilling, especially nowadays. Taking it easy.
Nice. I y'all can harass me now because I'm on this diet, man. It's just
Shit hard. Let me tell you something.
shit's hard. I gotta go in here. I want to fix me some liquor, but I go fix me a glass of water. So water and ice. So yeah. So everybody, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us, man. We will be back next week for sure. I will definitely put the people that came in because it was like last minute. So I'll put their links in the description. They'll be definitely in there by tomorrow. So if people will check out the show a little bit later, you'll definitely see where you can contact everybody. Go look at their information. Go follow them. Go support them. It'd be greatly appreciated on my end. And thank you guys so much for the support tonight, man. It was really, really great, man. Yobi, you know what I'm saying, Soren, and just so many other you guys, man. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, it was a fun night tonight, man. No doubt. Everybody have a good one. God bless. I know I'm usually more frisky when I had a little bit to drink at the end of these shows, so I might as well get back to it. Let's get to it, man. You know what I'm saying? The pandemic is still out there, so you got to be safe. You know what I'm saying? But I got to live through you guys. Remember, you know what I'm saying? You go find the scallywag. You know what I'm saying? You got to strap up, but you know what I'm saying? Do that pants.
Scallywag in
You know what I'm saying?
2022,
So my age.
Man, this is why your girl high fives you afterwards and says good game, man.
This is why my girl throws a high five. Oh man, but anyway. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and get that pants off, dance off, have a damn good time. I will see what's up, Verge. I will see you guys at Fight Night Sunday. And of course, with Don doing a stream here tonight, I will be there doing that. So go check out Don. But Fight Night Sunday, 8 p.m. Come and check us out, man. We will definitely we'll start it off with DBZ Fighters. And then we'll just let the night roll. Everybody have a good one. Peace.
Hey, thanks for checking out the GRG podcast. All your gaming news and...
All right, we are done.